And now, live from the Man Cave, Studio B, deep in the heart of constitutional Livingston County, Michigan, on a Tuesday night wins and losses rant, with your co-hosts, Patrick Acton Taylor Vincent Gibbs, yours truly, Larry Parsons. This is My Brain. And now your host, Jeremy Scott Gibbs. No car keys were lost during this announcement, but they were before I got here. This show is sponsored by Depends. Now a word from Joe Biden.
I have no idea why it switched to that camera.
Hello. Yes, it
There.
does work. See, it didn't need an antenna. It just needed a little TLC from our master here, Mr. Gibbs.
Joe Biden
It should have been on that camera right there. Actually, it should have been on the Larry. Did it ever go to the cave shot? I don't know what it did. I was over there trying to turn something else on.
It did not go to the cave shot.
It was supposed to go to the cave shot. Ridiculous.
Well, maybe it did, and I didn't see it. Doesn't mean that I see everything.
That's ridiculous. Ridiculous, man.
Yep.
Crazy ridiculous.
Ah,
Vince, get in here and get plugged in, buddy. I've got noise. If I got a phone in the way or something like that.
Well, I hope everybody had a safe and happy 4th of July.
it was good. It was very good. The best part was having my son come up and spend the day, and got a little bit of fun on the lake in, and got a couple of his projects done, got a couple of mine done. So
Yeah. Well, we had a little bit of fun on the lake on Thursday.
that was Thursday for us.
That was Thursday for
Yeah.
me. And then we went up to our campground
Yeah.
and spent the 4th of July.
Yeah,
and
way up north in Davison.
yes, way up north in Davidson.
You're never going to live that down, Larry.
Yep. I do call that up north. It is exactly 45 minutes up north.
Well,
If you're gonna have a second place, it might as well be close.
that's true. It's true.
Right.
You get to use it more that way.
Yeah.
You know, when he came up on Thursday, and he left, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock to head back home. He was heading south. He had called me about halfway home and said, "Dad, you wouldn't believe it. The traffic was a parking lot on northbound 23 from when I got on Owen Road all the way down to
Slap that thing. It went out.
all the way down to 96.
There it is.
Did it work in the
Yeah,
there you go.
So every year at these holidays, I'm happy that I live on a lake. I don't have to deal with any of that. I'm right where my vacation spot is
Yes.
year round. The only problem with it is I find myself working
Yes.
on the house, projects, what have you. So
Right?
So I would like to tell all the listeners, if any of you are looking for a '86 Mustang GT convertible, I have a nice one for sale.
yep,
It's not overly nice, so I can give you a good deal on it.
it's kind of like a rat rod. That's what it is. And there are guys that buy those. That's what they want.
Yeah, it needs paint.
Well, that they like that.
Yeah.
They want like an old truck or whatever. That's the drivetrain is like tricked out on the thing,
Yeah.
and the suspension, everything's like new, but the body itself is a little bit weathered, and they call them a rat rod.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've seen some real cool stuff like that, but I would like to take this time to thank my friend Jeremy, who took some expertise and some of his own time to repair the battery chargers on our motorhome.
yeah, cool.
So, thank you, buddy.
You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. He had some blown up capacitors.
Yes.
Okay, yep.
Yep. And he told me what to order. I ordered them. He put it in. I'll put it together tomorrow and cross my fingers and say thank you, Jesus, and wait for the bill.
Yeah. It is there.
I said, thanks, buddy.
Well,
said, "I'll send
Vincent
you a bill."
Gibbs. Vincent hasn't joined us in a long time. I
It is
haven't sat
good to
across
see
the
him.
table from you.
You guys hear me? Testing?
Yeah.
Hello.
Is it
I've-
on?
It's on.
It's a little low.
It's been years.
Oh, I muted you because you hadn't put it on yet.
Nah,
Now
he's
I-
been on.
Is it
You've
on
been
now?
on this year with us, haven't you?
Hello.
No.
Not since I've been here. Yeah,
It's been a while.
It's always
Yeah.
good to have you, Vince.
absolutely.
Yeah, and welcome everybody in the chat, all of our loyal listeners there. I don't know why my microphone sounds hollow, but it does to me for some reason. I don't know if it sounds the way you guys. And I'm getting a wicked fuzz in my ear. Are you guys hearing a fuzzy noise, or is that just my?
It's just your brain. It's kind of fuzzy tonight, huh?
There it is. Okay.
It's this is my brain. The brain's
Well,
fuzzy.
we lost one of the packs, so you're
It's so
using
hard
one,
to tell
the fifth pack.
what exactly it is. It's like there's so many things that it could be.
Okay, guys, can you hear this?
I cannot.
You can't hear that?
No.
Put your phone next to your headset, and you wonder if it's in this next to your pack. You hear any clicking?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't. No.
It was just my
Just-
phone.
Just yours.
Have you seen the infrared thing? Somebody took an infrared camera and was just watching people. They're walking down the street looking at their phones, right?
Hmm.
And they start noticing every time someone has their phone out, it's going beep, beep,
Flashing at him.
beep. It's flashing an infrared light at them
Oh.
every couple seconds.
Wow.
And she's like, I have an infrared camera. Here's my phone. And sure enough, it's like beep,
I wonder what that's all about.
big, bright infrared flash.
Yeah.
You can't see with your eyes.
Well, did anybody see the new Captain America: Brave New World?
I have not.
Brave new turd.
Brave New World. It was actually a really good movie, but it had that dynamic of they were controlling people. The bad guy was controlling people with a phone, and they were using flashes on their phone to
Oh, yeah.
program them.
Yep.
So it was quite interesting.
Makes me think of things like the Kingsman.
Yes.
Where they-
had the phone chip.
They gave everyone a phone with a chip in it
You want a chip?
and then triggered a frequency on those chips.
You want a chip, bro?
And everyone went crazy and beat the crap out of each other.
Okay.
Like killed each other.
Yeah, you got to see the movie. You want a chip, bro?
And of course, the one guy that's a badass secret agent ends up killing like everyone.
Check.
And I think they're in a church, aren't they?
Yeah,
that
he was
scene?
a secret Asian man. Asian
man.
Okay.
Asian man.
Yeah.
We used to do that because of Nate. When Nate was on the show,
Hmm.
he was our amazing Asian,
Okay.
and I would do the secret Asian man. Anyways, thank you. I don't know why you spelled brother, Bother. Keep it up, Bother. Anyways, loving the thin blue line. You know, I got a few T-shirts there. Vince put on the
That's one of them.
Mulan Lobby skull, or the helmet. Yeah, we got a few people in chat already chiming in. The Turkey Palooza there, you know, you can come deal with my gay fish, but they're the coolest fish around here. And believe me, they're not gay. I have a whole nother tank where they procreated that I have to deal with.
How come that tank always looks kind of green?
It's the lighting.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. I
Well,
thought-
do you have a plate
Look
in
at,
there?
you know, and it's also the fish. Look at that tank, how
You don't
clear
have
it
any
is. Look at
Play-Co's
this,
in there, do you?
this other tank.
yeah.
My biggest algae eater is in the tank that's the murkiest.
That's what I'm
Look
saying. You don't have one in that tank, though, do you?
No, but it's
You think that'd be
what it is I need to load up the amount of fish there's more fish in there.
it'd be a lot of food if you threw one in there?
Well, what I need to do is I need to load up another 10 or 20 of those black convicts and take them down to the pet store. I took a batch already down there. They love
They
them.
give you money?
No, they just take them.
Go.
Might get a discount the next time I go.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we won't throw them out. We'll
cool.
put them in a tank somewhere.
It's cute.
Someone will buy them.
Well, that one over there looks like the Urine brothers moved in. It's kind of.
I know. It's weird because it's the same. Those are black convicts and those are those got some black convicts in it, and they're
trying to escape.
I think it's partially the lighting.
You'll have to take us out. You get it dirty now.
You know, maybe. All right.
Well, dinner was good.
Yeah.
I'm comfortably full.
That's the best steak I've had in years.
Yeah, it was a funny looking steak.
Good job, Larry. Way to be on top of it, buddy.
All right.
We had chicken parmesan.
Yeah.
Parmesan.
Yep.
Parmesan.
Garlic.
Garlic bread and Patrick's signature salad.
Garlic.
Yeah, that was good stuff. It's good stuff.
And the signature salad to help everything move on through.
Right, get it flowing. There we go. So that was good. Let's do this. Let's get the show rolling with this.
Disclaimers.
Yeah, let's go here and we'll see where we're at. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm just going to click on it.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I have to,
And we should be completely excommunicated from all local groups of any kind because we're a bunch of drunken zealots.
Yeah. Okay, let's click to the next one. Let's see where we're at. Play it. Dory.
This is my brain. Notice. This show is mostly raw and unfiltered and completely politically incorrect.
Incorrect.
We say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We only recognize two genders.
Dangle, no dangle.
If you're not sure, look at your equipment.
But don't show it to us.
Right. As adults, we enjoy adult beverages. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
And for those of you who are listening, cheers. We cuss,
Cheers.
but we do not curse or swear. We love Jesus, but we hate religion and religious hypocrites. If any of this offends you,
Get out.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Please leave. We used to be, it was really bad for a while.
Just say vamonos.
It was perfect. It was
Vamonos.
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 Is that Nate?
Vamoose.
No.
Who was in that one?
I think that was Jen. Let's
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Back
It was
to
a good
disclaimers.
collection.
Oh, I guess I should go back to us at the table. All right, let's do some disclaimers then.
That was the
Patrick,
first one. That was the main disclaimer
which would
by
you like to do?
GMA. Whatever, pick one. I'm
You're
flexible. I am flexible.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to give you your old standby, and then I'm going to give Mr. Vincent your other one. How about that? That way we get both of them in on there, and you do this one.
Oh, you're gonna give me the second one?
Yeah, the second one. The second one's as good as the first. Actually, I'll use the second one more than I use the first one. But I would challenge you to a battle of wits. But I can clearly see that you are unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
No arms.
No
I
arms.
was the no arm dude. He's
Your arms are
right.
gone. He's up there, yeah.
He's up there. He's the no arm dude.
No arm, dude.
He needs to join the podcast. Where he is. Yeah, no arms.
Keeping an unarmed watch.
Whoops.
No arms.
Can't even stand up. He's got no arms.
This dude cannot keep or bear arms because he has no arms.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Right. Taylor.
I believe his arms are cold and dead now.
They are cool and dead. I don't know where they're at. Go ahead.
To argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead.
Yep.
Thomas Paine.
Thomas.
Thomas Paine. All right. And Larry, we'll give you an old standby here, buddy.
Oh, we haven't read that one in a long time.
Long time.
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to be able to remember it.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed unless Democrats say so.
Oh,
And then they can infringe it every day.
No, period.
Oh,
Period.
Oh.
Period.
oh, there's a period,
Period.
Oh.
Period.
Oh, it doesn't say.
Oh.
You mean it doesn't say Democrats can infringe?
Oh.
Period.
No.
Infringed, period. So
No.
infringed means encroached upon, or
Spat upon.
yeah.
Land on Plymouth Rock.
It
Yeah.
pretty much means you fuck with it in any way that's infringing.
It says you can't.
Shall not be.
Shall not be infringed.
You
No
shall
infringement.
not infringe.
That's the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. It was issued on December 15th, 1791, and it expires never.
When you pry it from my cold, dead hands.
That is 3 days after my
Without
birthday.
that amendment, the Constitution
It's
is
worthless.
useless.
Yeah.
Yes. A government big enough to give you everything you want is big enough to take everything you have. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and one of the founders. Good friends with John Adams, had a big falling out for quite a while there, and then they got back together, and they died on the same day within hours of each other.
Meanwhile, in the United States, we have a full-blown communist running for mayor in New York.
Oh, yeah.
All right, ready?
Never apologize and never explain. It's a sign of weakness. Weak.
And I think that people out here would do well, if you're watching, to understand that apologies do nothing with these monsters.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. And we're back. All right, disclaimer's taken care of, and never apologize for that. Let's see if anybody blew up the chat while we were doing that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. But we did get a $10, and you've got to give me better $10. Oh, K-Sup's in there. Hey, y'all.
We love K-Sup.
We
Happy
miss you
4th of
so
July.
much. And you know what? I keep telling Larry to send me your number. I reset my phone like 2 months ago, and that's why you have not heard from me. Is I reset my phone and supposedly downloaded all my contacts and lost about 2/3 of them. So please, K-Sup, shoot me a text, and I will save your number. Since I asked Larry multiple times to send it to me, and he failed me.
Hasn't rose to the top of its priority list yet.
Well, you know, he found 15 more siblings, and he's traveling the world, meeting all of them, and having dinner with them. So, I mean, it makes sense. But shout out to Turkey Palooza there, $10 tip. I don't want to read this shit. Hey, brother, as soon as I finish up podcasting, I'm going to come down there and handle the gay fish myself. Yeah. You're just a dork.
We don't have any blowfish, just so you
Baron's-
know.
Yeah. Baron's in the chat. John Bovey says that the man cave is turning the freaking fish gay. No, it's just the one chatter in there that thinks that my fish are gay. My fish are awesome.
They're awesome, except for the urine brothers that moved into this tank over here. And it's kind of like green.
Well, you're looking at it through that way.
Yeah.
It looks less dense when you look at it from the front.
I got that. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, the thumbs up button if you're on Rumble. I'm trying to maintain over here. You see anything over there? And okay, see, those are Rumble chats, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And it's supposed to have all of the chats. So I know when you were out the one week, Pat, with your foot being impaled,
Yeah.
you were in the chat on, I think, Facebook, and we weren't getting that.
No, I was like, man, I'm invisible here.
Yeah.
Nobody loves me.
Kelly did not abandon us. Kelly is.
Well, I forgot who you are. Kelly actually exists still.
Kelly's. She's taking care of business, man.
Oh, man. Yeah,
When
but
she comes storming back, it's going to be a fire of red hair and tear your ass up.
she's that way anyway.
That's what I'm saying. She's gonna be loaded for bear and buffalo and wolf and
Cool. She's going to bring it so we can throw it on the grill?
she's gonna have some. No, she's gonna come loaded to shoot all of them,
Okay.
take them down. Be loaded for grizzly bear.
Here I'm thinking there's meat going on the grill.
Wow, that may be. All right, let's get into this tonight. We're through the disclaimers, everything like that. I'm going to keep the camera on our side of the table since Patrick and I aren't playing with our phones. What are you looking at over there, guys?
I'm doing research.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Here's a quote since I titled tonight's show Wins and Losses. We're going to talk about some wins and losses.
Yes.
Let's start with the losses because I'm trying to. What did we lose?
Okay, we're going to get into that. Let me read this quote first. The quote for tonight from Apollo Onyo. I don't know who the fuck that is. But anyways, I like the quote. It says, if I have given my all and still do not win, I haven't lost. Others might remember winning and losing. I remember the journey.
How good is that? You know, that's so true. People are so focused on the end result and less focused on the path to getting there. And oftentimes the path to getting there is more fun and more entertaining and more educational than actually achieving the end goal. Mm-hmm. Boy, is that deep.
Very deep. Yeah. Very deep.
And I know we're boats tonight.
It's very deep. Yeah. Okay, so starting with the losses. We're going to start with the losses today. I've only seen in the first term Trump lost on the warp speed.
Yeah.
Because the jabs were not safe and effective.
No.
And they were horrible. So that was a loss there. In the second term, there was a potential loss. It has worked out thus far with the Iran missile strike. Yeah. It hasn't fully escalated into anything else. There were many on the right that had their extreme reservations about taking us to war at the behest of
I'm
Israel.
glad Trump's kind of finally acting like he's backing up from Netanyahu a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least acting like he is.
Right. Well, I mean, we remember the quote where he told him, he says, you got two countries been fighting forever. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And
they're already talking about new launches, and wasn't there a new launch today?
I don't recall. I was caught up in the other loss that we're seeing right now.
In defense of Operation Warp Speed and what had transpired 4 or 5 years ago, there were studies that were done on this RMNA that showed the challenges and the the drawbacks to those that were hidden.
Yeah,
It
was basically like an incomplete type of thing.
No, they knew they could fuck you up.
Right, but they didn't have a real use that would fuck you up.
Right.
Yeah.
But
pretty much what we're finding out now.
The myocarditis in young folks, that was well documented.
Yeah.
And that was hid, completely hid from the public, from the authorities.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knew.
Yep.
And then thousands of doctors that were shut down and fired and thrown in jail.
Well, and not only that, the inventor of the mRNA technology denounced it eventually. Took him a little bit, but when he saw it was being used. But the inventor of the PCR test immediately came out and said, this is not how you use my test. This is not what this was invented, why we made this test. And I think he was taken out or died or something mysterious happened to him there shortly after. So those are
like a month after the outbreak.
Yeah.
This guy just seriously dead.
So if you've been living under a rock or are just listening to certain different news, let's see. Do I want to even go to that? Do I want to go to this clip or not? I just want to look at it. Breaking: Trump blows up at a reporter asking about the exploding Jeffrey Epstein case whitewash firestorm. So if you have been living under a rock and you don't realize it, Pam Bondi had all of the Epstein files on her desk. They were going to be released. Bongino and Cash Patel leading up to them being nominated and getting the jobs said that there's a lot there. This guy's a pedo. We need to expose all of his clients. We need to bring all this out. And then they went on this tour just a month ago, or just within the last month, of saying, well, there's not really much there, blah, 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 blah.
Hey, who's that over there? Ha!
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were just ripping on you.
Looky here.
How in the world is that possible?
I got up work early.
Grab that chair.
Hello.
I don't need to stay.
You just stopping in to say hi?
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi.
Well, you need to stop in and say hi to everybody.
Stop-
so
yeah,
come on,
yeah.
pull up a chair, come smile
You
with us.
made our day.
Hi, everyone. Hi, honey. How are you?
Wait, look at all these fancy stuff now. Wait. Lean down in here. Get in here. There.
Hello.
It's Kelly. Yay. When are you coming back, girl?
I don't know. Whenever work calms down.
When it calms down.
When work calms down, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, there's 3 of us now, so
I know, and we miss you a lot.
yeah.
Um,
I gotta get home and help
Take
a boy
care of the family?
pack. No, help a boy pack for his wrestling camp at CMU.
wrestling camp.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Following Mama's footsteps.
He's at Adrian right now.
You going to school there, or is
No,
he's
he's
at
wrestling camp.
wrestling camp?
Mhm.
My son went to Adrian. He wrestled. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Well, there, you're off camera a little bit.
I'm off camera. Here,
Yeah.
I'll squat.
Get in there.
Hello.
Hello. Vince, will you grab that handheld there? Are you going to stay for a minute, or are you going to go?
I can stay for a minute.
Well, grab that black chair.
Okay. All right.
Grab that handheld. Yeah,
Mike.
the handheld. Yep.
You want me to scoot on their side? Or?
right here.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
No, yeah, scoot on their side.
Okay.
okay.
Vince, just scoot here.
Sorry, I disrupted
If
you.
you-
so- What? I'm coming over to give
Yeah,
you
I think it's working. I can hear it making noise.
No, that was me.
I was scared you were going
Oh.
to sit next to me and beat me up again.
No.
Why don't we?
Hello.
How are you,
Good
honey?
to see you.
Good to see you too.
I don't know who has a better right hook, her or your grandma.
See you again.
Thank you, sir.
Grandma Connie had a really good right hook. I got it several times.
You liked it too much, Larry. That was the problem. All right, let me get to the menu and unmute that microphone. Oh, I got it right there. I do have a program.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you
I heard you
now.
for a second there. Try it again.
Can you hear me now?
No, it cut out. What? Why did that do that? Did I put dead batteries in it? As soon as you grabbed it, yep, I put dead batteries in it.
I always affect them too.
All right.
So much for my skill.
Sorry, guys. I totally threw everything in a tailspin.
It
No,
is,
you didn't.
but it's,
Sorry, saves
it's
me from
awesome
talking
to
about
see
gay
you.
fish.
We have missed you. How long has it been? Has it been 6 months?
3 months.
3 months?
Now it's working.
It's been too long.
Way too long. So how was your? We
Better?
started out with
Yes.
4th of July. How was your 4th of July?
Good. Quiet.
How is your friend that retired from work?
I don't know what friend you're talking about. She didn't retire. She built an in-home salon.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, because it was just more feasible with her life situation.
oh.
Right. How is work going? I know
Oh,
you
it's
had
busy.
You had a couple of girls that.
Well, I have one that's very part-time because she's sick
Yeah,
and it's terminal. And
that's not good.
yeah,
Oh, that's the one I thought that retired.
no, the other one has a ailment that has come on in the last few years
Oh.
post-COVID. And it's hard for her to leave the house. So yeah. So she's the one who built the home business.
Okay.
Ah.
But you guys, what'd you do for 4th of July?
It was my dad's 71st birthday also. So I went to his house and we had dinner. It was nice. And then I was home before dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So did you hear what the infamous Democratic government in Michigan has passed for 70-year-olds?
No, what?
There are 3 new laws around driving that took effect July 1. First one is if you're over the age of 70, the scrutiny for you to renew your license is just tripled. You not only have to pass a very stringent eye exam, but cognitive exams as well. I don't know if they're written or oral or what. That. Second, if you do not have your hands on your steering wheel at 10 and 2, they can pull you over and give you a ticket.
Is that just
Wait, over the age of 70?
or just for over 70?
No, that's for everybody.
Oh.
All right. And the third one, I like. As a matter of fact, I like it a lot. If you're driving in the left-hand lane on the expressway and you're not passing anybody, I'm going to pull you over and give you a $385 ticket.
There you go.
Yay!
That's
I
a good
love
one.
it. Yeah, especially if there are people behind you wanting to pass you and people are trying to pass you on the right.
That's a good one.
I
That
like
is
that
a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one. 2 hands on the steering wheel is stupid, and I hope everybody takes that to a jury trial.
Yeah. Well, for somebody that drives a stick, how are you supposed to do that? Yeah, I got my third arm here. You know, well, it hasn't grown all the way in yet, but it's a coming.
You better be careful with that.
A lot of things
the
are
third
thought
arm coming
through.
from the bottom.
A lot of things are thought through. Well, we
You can only
won't.
reach the
I don't know how long you're
bottom.
gonna stay. I don't know how long you're gonna stay, Kelly, but
Makes the steering wheel slippery when it happens.
you know the show didn't change much.
No.
It's
And
still-
that's okay. I still watch. I just
Well, I
can't
love
watch
it when
while
you
you
check
guys
it.
are on. So
what's on your radar? We're going to talk about wins and losses. Mostly wins, but we got to point out a couple losses.
on my radar,
Yeah, what's on your radar lately, news-wise or life-wise? What are you wrapped up in other than work and your son
and kids,
wrestling?
children.
Yeah,
It's not just him, but yeah, I'm honestly detoxing right now.
Okay.
So I know very little about very little.
okay, but that's good.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you know the amount of stuff I've found that I can't talk about. So,
Right.
Yeah, I'm detoxing. I'm not thrilled about this BBB, One Big Beautiful Bill that just passed. I'm not thrilled of it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not thrilled about any. It's an omnibus bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And
thought
I
we were
don't-
going to be
I
doing
hate
away with that. I
omnibus
voted
bills.
for single bill items. So I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about the idea of digitizing everything. I'm not happy about being surveilled. I'm not happy about the idea of wearables eventually becoming implants. I'm not happy about any of that because I found all the patents on it and I've talked about it and people think I'm crazy.
Yeah,
So
it's already here.
I mean, cloud seeding was one of
It's
those things that
everywhere.
was a conspiracy theory. I mean, a year ago, you called me a conspiracy theorist.
I
And
did not.
now,
use
yes, you
those
did. We have
words.
it on
Cloud
video.
seeding
It's on video.
Yeah,
is-
it's
I did
on
not
video.
use those
You sure
words.
did.
Cloud
And now,
seeding's a
how many
real thing.
states? 36 states have banned it.
Banned it. And then there's news about
Yeah.
Planetar Company, Palantar Company, cloud seeding 2 days before the Texas floods. So I guess I'm not totally detoxing.
Yeah, it's such a detoxing.
And
That's
the company that just got signed into our One Big Beautiful Bill to
Yeah.
surveil us. So I'm not thrilled about that.
yeah.
I am
there was
thrilled.
a bunch of crap and even they even watered stuff down, like the from what I understand, the no tax on overtime pay
Yeah.
is now turned into a tax credit, and only the amount of your pay that is actually the overtime part.
right?
Yeah.
So if you make $20 an hour and you have $30 is your overtime pay, the difference between that is $10 an hour,
Right.
and that's a tax credit now at the end of the year because the Democrats screwed it all up.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right. Well, and the
Yeah.
other one too.
The seniors.
No tax on tips is capped
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, so
when you get over 30 grand in
So,
tips. So
yeah.
you're still going to be held. So the idea of no tax on tips should be that you don't even have to record them. Now they still are requiring you to record all of your tips, but then you're not going to get taxed on it until you hit 30. I
Yeah.
think that's bullshit.
you get taxed on all of it or just over 30.
Once you hit $30,000 worth of tips,
Yeah.
then you get taxed.
Oh, okay. So, and it also the no tax on overtime pay is a 160 limit, and I don't know if that's per person or jointly. 160,000
Yeah.
is you get taxed on it at
160,000
And seniors
gross
get a credit
income,
instead
or is
of-
that just
No,
overtime?
No tax.
whatever. Yeah, gross.
Say it again,
And
Kelly.
seniors get a credit instead of no tax.
Overtime pay.
No,
is-
seniors on
Yeah.
Medicaid and
Social Security.
Social Security, they instead of no tax on their Social Security, which please someone explain this to me. Why would I give a government that's fiscally irresponsible money every single month out of my paycheck to save for me as some kind of retirement, knowing
So that. Wait, I have an answer.
that they've now used those funds to balance out the student debt,
Mhm.
and knowing that there's nothing left for us? And aren't we the people? Don't we decide?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to pay them any money to hold for me because they're fiscally irresponsible.
Correct.
Right.
So,
There shouldn't be a federal income tax in the first place.
Well,
Not
Yeah,
only-
and you never draw what you pay in.
right.
I would tell them, give me my $250,000 back.
And then, well,
that I've
not
paid
just
in.
that, but I'm giving them my money, and then when I turn a certain age, I'm supposed to be getting that money back,
And then they
and then
tax
they
you.
tax me on it.
Yes.
That's taxed money already,
Right.
and they're taxing me on my tax money. Didn't we go to war over that?
Yeah.
Yes, we see.
And it was for tea,
Yeah.
and way less than what we got going on right now.
3%.
Yes.
3%.
That was part
We're
of it.
being taxed 3% on tea, and they,
That was part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't read the language.
I have an answer. Because there are people out there that want you to have no money left
Mhm.
after you spend your whole week working,
Yep.
and they want you struggling,
Correct.
so that you never have the time to get up and actually fight against them.
Correct.
And
Because
yet
you're
they live
constantly
cushy
struggling.
lives.
Yep.
well, I was just going to say, the bottom line reality is that a 28-year-old broke bartender who gets voted in because the people, her constituents in her area, think she's cute, and she was known by everybody because she served them drinks every night. And 5 years is now worth $29 million. How does that happen unless she's not taking money?
Because
from
she was an
us?
actress that they hired for the position when they put out an
I
audition.
saw that video. Yeah,
She auditioned
literally.
for that job, and they
Yeah.
said, perfect, we can steer you the way we want to.
Yeah.
You got the role. So she's been cast in her role, and since
Yeah.
we know digitally our elections are they can place whoever they want wherever they want.
And for those of you living under a rock, that is AOC.
Yes.
Occasional
Yes.
cortex.
Almost.
Almost occasional cortex.
Yeah. And let's put
What's
this in
her real name,
perspective. AOC is to the right of Alyssa Slotkin.
She is. And you posted something. Was that something new today, or just posted it just to be provocative?
Well, she's our girl, so
No, I actually reposted that. Every now and then,
Yeah.
I like to remind everybody that AOC votes with Republicans 8% of the time, and liberal Alyssa Slotkin
That it
votes with
must
Republicans
Party
2%.
before country. Always.
well,
Always.
that's why I said she's our girl.
What'd she say? What did she say?
I
That
don't know.
It
What,
must be party
Party
before country.
over people.
Always.
Party
Always.
before country.
Mm-hmm.
Party before country. What a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
I should not vote
it's the
for her.
one time in her
Again.
life that she told the truth.
I will not.
There's nothing more
Oh my God,
American
seriously?
than PBS. It's a safe
See, that
place where
translates.
kids learn and grow, and where
Why can't I
grown-ups
stop
are
this?
informed.
Yeah. Shut up,
PBS is
you.
horrible.
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't like taking links from you.
Yeah. PBS.
It led right into a PBS
Yeah. Permanent.
PSA.
That means permanent bullshit.
Is that it?
Could be.
We're not paying for it anymore, though, so that's cool.
That's one thing.
Didn't
I'm
they,
stuck
didn't
on
they
that screen.
strike down the Planned Parenthood thing now?
Well,
No,
tried to cut
a
funding.
judge put a temporary injunction on. They didn't.
After they just said you're not allowed to do that.
Right.
Now listen. Listen. Amy Comey,
Spit it out, Larry.
Barrett.
Amy Comey Barrett. There it is.
Barat.
Actually said it the way it should have been said. I was like, wow. I mean, she pointed out that this justice, what's her name, Jackson, who is
Didn't
too
know what a
stupid
woman was?
to know what a woman is angry about what she's calling an imperial executive branch, but she supports an imperial judicial branch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what they're doing is they're making these judges do what they couldn't get the people to vote for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the judges are completely overstepping their authority and violating the Constitution.
100%. But
in major ways, this isn't small. They
Yeah.
should be impeached. Congress should impeach them
Yeah.
for doing this.
or dismiss that whole branch of the judiciary.
Well,
they could
I believe
get
that,
rid of all of them.
I believe that President Trump could target that judge with an executive order, permanently defund that court. Whatever court that these judges are in, I believe through he has the authority under executive order to defund that court.
Yeah.
Which would put that judge out on the street, rename the court, and appoint his own judge for that.
Yeah.
What was the proposition in California that the majority of the citizenry there voted for that then was completely overturned and vacated by a liberal judge? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
It was a while ago, and it was a pretty significant ballot initiative, and it went through, and it was a good thing. And
Yes.
I think it was one judge or a couple judges there.
Yep.
Screwed it all up.
These
If anybody knows in
imperialistic
chat,
judges.
I don't think they can do that if it's been voted on by the general
They did
public.
it.
And everybody
Yeah, I
needs
remember this
everybody
case.
needs to realize that the state that we live in, Michigan,
They'll do the same thing.
on our Supreme Court, we have 6 Justice Jacksons.
Yeah.
We don't have 1, we have 6.
One of my guys, he's like, "What's with the one guy with the weird eyes?" I'm like,
Oh no.
I goes, "Dude, he's blind." He goes, "Oh, I feel bad now." I go, "That's all right. Justice is supposed to be blind." I said,
Wah, wah.
"But how much extra money are we wasting in printing everything out in Braille for that guy?"
I don't know, but he's a horrible judge.
Well, he came from the Bernstein family.
Yeah, he's
So, I
absolutely
mean,
putrid.
You're gonna become a chief justice when your family
Right.
specialized in ambulance chasing. No, I mean, I'm
he's
sure
more
there are people
fit-
that have benefited from their law.
He's
office,
more
but-
fit to have an organ grinder and a monkey in front of him.
right.
I think that's most at this point.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Well, like you said, Amy Coney. Who was it?
Amy Comey Barrett.
She did the one dissent. She did the one dissent, and she says, "I don't like all this legal. I don't get all this legalese stuff."
Justice Jackson, or
that
was it
Jackson?
Sotomayor? Because that one said some pretty dumb things too.
This is one of the most recent ones, so I'm gonna say it's Jackson.
Jackson.
Letitia James.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the prosecutor that's going
Well,
to get trouble.
didn't Amy Comey Barrett recuse herself recently from one of the Supreme Court cases?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is how
But she retarded.
hypocritical the Democrats are. There were 2 sitting justices on the bench that performed gay weddings when the gay marriage case went before the Supreme Court. Neither one of those hypocrites recused themselves from the case. And that was Sonia Sotomayor, and I can never remember the other lady's name.
My favorite justice is Clarence.
That's
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
he's
my
good.
favorite.
Who was the one that passed away? Was it
Alito,
Alito? I liked him. too.
Samuel Alito.
I
love-
also like Gorsuch. I think it's Gorsuch.
Gorsuch is right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I like
I
him a
like
lot too.
I like Gorsuch.
I've read some of his dissents, and he's pretty along the constitutional line as much as you can hope for in today's age.
Yeah, none of them are perfect for sure. Alito, what I liked was his dissents because he would be very stern and critical in his dissents,
Mhm.
and he was generally right.
I agree.
He was generally right. A lot of lawyers that I know or other judges didn't like his dissents because they thought he was going beyond the scope of what he should be saying. But I disagree. I think it's good for a judge to point out how ridiculous some of the case decisions, case law is turning out to be.
Right.
Somebody's saying something funny.
Dude, they are tearing up the chat.
Uh-oh.
I was trying to let Larry get his thing out before I rudely laughed like he does with me.
Jeffrey A. Mayo.
Oh yeah,
I see what you said.
I'm gonna see.
So
I
let
need
me
to
tell
find out
you.
who that really is. 'Cause
Let me tell you, sir.
I might run.
I ain't running for no school board again. And if I run for something, you'll find out.
She
Speaking
can't
of
beat
which-
she can't beat the blackest man in 4 states.
That's why I talked to him the way I did. Speaking of which, campaign finance stuff is due by July 25th. Just everybody that's got a campaign finance thing going on.
Right.
Because they will charge you
Barron
$500.
seems to think that they hate us because our freedoms and fish dicks. And John Bovey likes it when Barron does 9/11 things and then brings it over to fish sticks. So I can't see that little picture.
Who's the podcast boomers? It's the cat head. And then
No,
Trump.
the bottom one.
Oh, it's this one, and then the one below it's
What's
Trump.
that little one? Is
That's
that Trump?
Yeah.
It's like me when podcast boomers say anything. Boom! It's explosions of bullshit.
Yeah.
I've got that one somewhere here.
I want to know who Jeffrey A.
Bullshit.
Mayo is. I'll meet you out back.
Boom, these
I'll
explosions
catch you outside.
of bullshit.
Yeah, we got to figure out everybody because there's quite a few people with their. Listen here, Sonny. I'm sick and tired of these libtards talking about Epstein and AIPAC. We need to get back to supporting Palantir and Israel.
Right, brother.
Right. You got that right, brother.
I love how many awake people there are.
Yeah.
I just don't know why John
Growing
Bovey
up.
can't spell brother.
I know.
He's spell it brother.
He's,
Border.
he's spelling it
It's border.
BORHTER.
Border.
Is your
Support Israel border. You get one board or get the hell out.
what the hell? Wow. So yes.
So much winning.
Yes, so much winning. Let me bring this one up. So Kelly claims to be detoxing, but she's clearly
Up to
not.
speed.
I'm going to bring this one up over here
Oh, this is
from Mr. Acton.
Yeah.
Let's see where this one's at. Let's see. We're going to open this one in another. Let me know when you got to go, Kelly. We'll make sure we give you a proper send off here.
Yeah, I saw Chicago with my own eyes from over 100 miles away.
That's not true.
Oh, over
the curvature disappears.
No, I saw it.
What?
I
100
saw,
miles
I saw
away?
the whole coastline all the way over to it, too.
But the science is settled that it's 8 inches per mile squared, the curvature.
I don't know, man. I can see it.
It's a mirage.
Clear as day.
It's a mirage. It's a mirror. It's a mirage.
Pretty unmistakably
It's a mirage.
clear.
It's a mirage.
I saw Chicago.
From 100 miles away?
From where? Where were you at?
Boston opened up for him.
Oh, so you weren't 100 miles away?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's cool.
That's very cool, Larry. Are you watching the chat there, Kel?
Yeah, who plays the saxophone? I can't even say it. Saxophone in the back. What is he talking about?
Saxophone? The
So
saxophone
he
hanging?
sees it. Okay, gotcha. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is he saying?
Who's asking?
That was John Bovey.
That was
I've told you before, John Bovey.
Must be doing like text to speech or something.
Something.
He's just like,
Hey, who be playing that saxophone? That actually belongs to the Amazing Asian. He left it here a while back. If he's listening, it's still here, buddy. But I hung it on the wall in honor of Chicago. Not the band, or the city you saw. The band you saw in the city you saw.
your buddy.
My buddy Jim, who passed away in.
Incredible saxophone player and guitarist. Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Very good guy.
I have to buckle down in the next month and work on a bunch of our music and get it edited and recorded out here. Speaking of that, Vince, we've got this here. You said you can see Chicago. I don't understand this. It says, I know. That's what I was taking off my hands. I don't know what
saw
the hell it
7
is.
states.
Don't touch up in this area.
Is that where it is?
I've been there.
Is it from the electrical tape?
Yeah, but it says, here's the problem though. It says, you're seeing Mount Pinnacle from 120 miles away. That's impossible. It's impossible. I'm saying, because it should be 9,600 feet of curvature.
Speaking
Because
of,
the mountain is only 2,500 feet tall, and the very tip of the top of the mountain would be over 7,000 feet below the horizon.
But so how do you know that your vision doesn't bend with the curvature of the?
So I was on top of a mountain.
Yeah, you got to understand, you're elevated. You're way up on top. My Darla got sick in the car climbing the mountain.
I was on top of a mountain recently, and it was the highest point of the mountains area range that I was on.
Okay.
Because the National Weather Service station is right there.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in a hot tub in the complete dark, looking out in the distance, and I could see, how the cities have a glow, the halo. Knoxville,
Light
freaking
pollution.
Tennessee, from where I was, and I was in another state.
Light pollution.
I could see Knoxville,
impossible, but
Tennessee,
these
and I
guys-
was in another state.
Yeah.
This is scientifically impossible, guys.
Well,
It's
it wasn't.
It's a mirage.
They're ruining the earth.
We're in a dome.
All of us are
a
ruining the earth.
mirage.
Well, you can only
Surrounded by
only
ice.
see it because of global warming.
This is
We are
true.
all
Right.
on
Yeah.
the Truman Show.
Good thing they're
Oh, they got a
spraying
big.
particles to blot out the sun so that we don't have global warming.
There's
Yes.
a
For
huge.
reflection.
There's a huge
Yeah.
volcano that's bubbling up in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California, and that blows. It won't matter anymore anyway.
No.
Right?
We won't see
I
shit.
don't understand what people don't understand about the interconnectivity of volcanoes. Because it all flows
Are
underground.
you getting that? Because I didn't
I am
realize where it
wiping
was.
it,
Okay.
yeah. That's what I was working on.
Dude, I don't know where that black mark.
It's good tape.
Somebody, the kid came.
Let's go back to the arrest one.
Oh.
I kind of like the arrest one.
Oh, right here. Let's do this one.
Are we talking about Epstein?
We're looking at 2020.
Oh,
You know, the stolen election there?
Yeah, right.
We can talk about that now on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook can.
you
pop up.
can?
Yeah.
Oh, I have so much crap to post.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
much crap to
No,
post.
no, I'm sorry, not Facebook.
Yeah,
YouTube.
No, YouTube and Facebook, you can
Yeah.
talk about that.
Oh, you can
stuff.
talk about it now?
Yeah.
Because they took my whole channel because of it. They haven't
Yeah.
restored my channel.
I would
Right.
sue. This is a First Amendment infringement.
Yeah.
There's got to be a class action coming
Should
in
get
that
in
sense.
line with that
Yeah.
shit.
No kidding.
So the 2020 election, no arrests. COVID, no arrests. Butler, Pennsylvania, no arrests. Well, he was a lone gunman. I mean, I don't know why
He
we would arrest
died.
anybody. I mean, you know.
While he was constantly talking to the feds.
Yeah. Epstein, no arrests, even though he was convicted twice.
You know what? I heard
trafficking
actually
children.
today. I heard the best point I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
But he was trafficking.
He was previously charged with sex trafficking and prostitution.
Okay.
Previously,
Okay.
already charged with it, right?
Yes. Got a bullshit deal.
Ghislaine Maxwell
Mhm.
was charged with, I believe it was similar counts
Mm-hmm.
recently.
They suppressed all of her black
Yeah.
book people.
Yet now they're saying that there's nothing.
There's no evidence.
There's no.
Why is she in jail for 20 years?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let me explain it to you guys. Sorry, I got to take this time and explain it to you guys.
We need to
All right?
understand.
Didn't her daddy work for
Inquiring
Mossad?
minds.
Okay. See, this is
I
all.
need to go back
listen.
to kindergarten so I can
It
understand.
is so
Okay.
nice having Kelly here.
I know it.
know.
So listen. I got to explain it to you guys.
You have
and I'll
like
just-
a Jenga
I'll just
block
take
or
this little
something
bit.
I can play with while you're.
Yeah, yeah. So
Love to laugh.
So here's what happened for real. Epstein trafficked people to Ghislaine, and Ghislaine trafficked people to Epstein. So once they arrested them both, case closed.
No.
They were both arrested.
But they were arrested at
At
different
one
times for
time.
trafficking. So if there's nobody else involved, they could have only trafficked them to each other.
My favorite is listening
Yeah.
to pre-office what has been said and
Oh.
post-office
Yeah,
what
the
do
one
you
where
say?
what has been said.
What?
And it's like,
Epstein only ever filmed himself.
right? And he hung himself with sheets that are breakaway sheets. I think that makes total sense on a 3 foot.
Dr.
Like,
Michael
yeah.
Batten, the world-renowned pathologist, over 40 or 50 years of experience, said that his three breaks in his neck bones
Mhm.
were consistent with strangulation.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
I mean, the person that owned him has his name on a children's hospital, so I'm pretty sure that with money like that, you can hide whatever you want and have whoever you want do whatever you want.
Hey, has anybody ever heard of a creepy motherfucker out of England named?
Prince Andrew?
No, but that's another one.
He sweats a
So
lot.
why is it suspicious that one of Hillary Clinton's friends committed suicide?
Because that happens frequently.
I don't know. Why is it suspicious that the Clinton body count is suppressed when you do a search engine on it?
Seriously, still?
Yeah.
Still going up too.
It is.
Still going up.
Dude, I had one of my
They're
buddies
over 200 now.
He walks in the locker room. He's like, dude, did you hear about this person tied to the Clintons? He's like, I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, look up the Clinton body count and see how many redirects and bullshit searches you get on it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a phone. Who's throwing a phone? Anyways, Jerry Savelle. What the fuck was this?
Oh, yeah. Jerry Saville.
Was it Jerry?
I think it's something Saville.
Yeah.
Something Saville. What is it? Tony Saville? Oh, I got it right. He is creepy as hell. I don't know how he got where he got.
Creepy. He was caught in hospitals molesting impaired children. He would go to the children all the time. And then after he died, everybody went, yeah, he was a bad guy. Jimmy Savile. He goes, yeah, we all knew he was a bad guy. And you didn't do shit, and now he's dead and doesn't get held accountable for anything.
They have somebody in an interview not that long ago that's sitting in Congress that was saying the same thing about Epstein. We knew he was doing this, but nobody wanted to say anything.
Mm-hmm. Right. Why do that?
Why
do that?
We've been covering it up for centuries.
Exactly. Let's go back to this wall feed here. Benghazi, no arrests. But that's because Hillary was in charge and she knows what she's doing. Yeah. We came, we saw, he died. Oh, yeah, you sodomized the guy to death. Quite literally.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to sell his oil in something other than the petrodollar.
I have a prediction.
Concerning this?
Yeah, one of the common denominators in almost all of those is J-O-B.
Job?
Brennan.
John
Owen Brennan.
Oh.
Owen?
Mm-hmm.
John Owen Brennan.
He fled the United States 2 months ago.
Right. Jan 6, no arrests of the people who made it bullshit.
Probably Obransky.
DOJ, the Doge findings, no arrests there. Russia collusion, even though it's been proven to be a whole bunch of bullshit, no arrests there. Ukraine impeachment, no arrests there. I told him that if he didn't fire the prosecutor, he wasn't getting $1 billion. And he said, "You're not the president." He said, "Call him." Well, son of a bitch. Fire the prosecutor. Who was he? Who was that prosecutor there in Ukraine investigating? It was the Biden family.
Yep. The guy who was investigating for Burisma.
Yeah, 10% for the big guy.
Where Hunter Biden was mysteriously
And
hired.
This is why Americans don't trust
$1
DC and why we won't until this changes. That
is correct.
I think that is the number one issue that we need to put in the losses category.
If you think you can trust DC,
yeah,
just look at the big beautiful bill.
Yep.
I mean, the only thing I can think of that we're really lucky is we avoided massive tax increase. The big beautiful bill wouldn't have passed. Every middle class American would be paying another $3,000 a year in federal income tax this year.
Absolutely, and that was the carrot and the stick.
Right. So I mean, everybody does need to realize that yes, there was a very small silver lining in that storm cloud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a lot of bad stuff in that bill. It's an omnibus bill.
We needed to hold every single one of them accountable for it.
Let me tell you something. An omnibus bill is how the Democrats were able to raise the age for buying tobacco products from 18 to 21. They snuck it in an omnibus bill.
Right.
You know, because those omnibus bills aren't, 5 or 6 sheets of paper. They're stacked that tall.
Yep.
They're thousands.
What did it take 2 days to read it?
Ain't nobody could read an omnibus bill in 2 days.
No, they made him Chuck Schumer as a stunt to try to get it passed, being voted on for July 4th for Trump to be able to, July 3rd, so Trump could sign it on July 4th, which he did.
Yeah.
Schumer did the motion and required that the entire bill be read out loud on the floor. and they read it, and it was like, it took a long fucking time. I'm gonna look it up while we're sitting here. Let's see here. Big beautiful bill.
So I did have something come across my news feed just now, Jeremy.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court just ruled that Donald Trump can continue laying off federal employees.
I did read that. I read that this afternoon.
Yeah.
Then they also passed that he can continue deporting people.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, John Brennan probably put aside so much money from being CIA director, all that dirty money.
He was involved in every single one of those psyops that was on that
Exactly.
list. Every single one.
Yeah. Reading time. Reading.
But I did hear that in the big beautiful bill that they're defunding Planned Parenthood.
That's a good one.
So that's
There's
Well, but then it goes back to the states, just like the abortion thing did. So what's going to end up happening is a state tax is going to be how we're funding Planned Parenthood moving forward. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
It is that
Yeah.
simple. And we know
in
living
blue
in the state
states,
we live in, it's going to be something that they bring to the table and push for and probably get because.
Well, they can't right now because of the Republican majority. But yes.
We'll see what happens after the next election. I hope we can maintain a majority. But
I hope we can pick up the Senate, but I don't know that we have anything in the Senate that's up in this election.
And are we going to have a governor that'll veto it?
Right. We have to pick a governor, and it's got to be a governor that can win, not one that's going to, where all the conservatives are going to say, well, nope, I'm not voting for that person.
That's my challenge with Anthony.
That's a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people I won't vote for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to look it up. All it says is that Chuck Schumer pushed for the reading of the
Have you
bill,
got him lined up for the show yet?
but it doesn't say when. It doesn't say how long.
All three people I've tried to call have not responded back to me.
Yeah, he doesn't respond to me either, and he used to. But he also knows that I support somebody else.
Yeah.
Because he wanted me on his campaign. I said, sorry.
Not in.
I'm on Kevin Rinke's campaign.
Yeah, so the big beautiful bill, I would say that there's some losers in there. Definitely some pork, definitely some bullshit. And there were some winners. There was some good stuff. I think that's what they do in Washington. And it was an omnibus bill. What's the other bills that come after that that we'll go over? All right, Kelly. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Good to see you guys.
Do you know that was a Michigan
It
man?
was awesome to have you. You let me know as soon as Larry finally texted me. He probably texted me last month when I asked for it, but it just came through.
Oh, I was supposed to text you. He told me on the phone.
Yeah.
I've missed like 7 of his phone calls, and I finally called him back.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Kelly, we miss you on the
Yeah,
podcast.
you didn't have to tell on yourself. I would have taken the blame.
No, he told me, and I was supposed to text you, but I was right. We just lost our dog that week, so it was a rough week.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I just thought about it. The last time I saw you, we were talking about the Corporate Transparency Act, which is now completely defunct, but not before I liquidated my LLC and opened up another company.
Did you?
Yep.
We left everything alone.
Yep.
That's what I said. Just leave it alone. I'm actually thinking about doing a like a members only type organization so that it's not an LLC, it's its own entity, and it's for people that are members only. So really they can't come in, they can't touch it, they can't.
It's a club.
And a PMA.
Yeah, we've talked about doing something
Or a PMO.
Something similar here at the Man Cave for some of our get-togethers.
Kelly, did you happen to see any of the information I put out on the Livingston Strangler?
I don't do social media, so no.
Oh, well, he loves you in the chat.
That's part of the detox. Who?
Jeffrey Amell, he loves you.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, the Livingston Strangler. Yeah,
I'm apparently not allowed to be on a podcast because I got breasts.
Oh, you're definitely allowed.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess anybody can have breasts now because I have a functioning uterus.
But your breasts are real.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know from experience, but I do know that you're a real woman.
I hope that triggered him quite a bit.
The Livingston Strangler?
Listen,
Whoever that was.
Yeah, you know
We
he choked
all-
out his girlfriend 8 times.
Oh, geez.
Jeffrey Amayo.
we
He
all
did 8. He cut a deal with Livingston County and spent 8 months in Jackson.
Wow.
Yes, choked his girlfriend out 8 times in a 24-hour period.
And this is who
This is
they're getting
Jeffrey
behind.
Amayo that the Democrats are getting behind. Yep,
sounds
but,
like they're kind of candidate, really.
but
I mean, I'm not shocked.
I want to make this clear. Not all Democrats, but our pals with Livingston Integrity
Mm-hmm.
and Sage
Mm-hmm.
are firmly behind the Livingston.
I believe that 100%.
They are.
I believe that 100% because it only matters when they say it matters.
Right.
Well, thank you for popping in surprisingly, Kelly. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm just reading all the all caps
I know there's a
posts over here.
lot.
I'm like, are you guys yelling in the chat? Because that's what all caps means. You only got one lake house. They're yelling at each other.
Why are they talking about gay fish?
Dude, one of these fuckers started it
a fish in
a
the
month
fish tank
ago
again.
and said my fish tank was gay
Larry,
with gay fish.
we can all agree that women deserve it sometimes, brother, especially me. Especially me.
Ugh.
Uh-huh.
I would
Catch me outside, bro.
I would
Come
set that
on.
up to do pay-per-view because Kelly will kick your ass.
Yeah, and women
Come on.
never deserve to be hit.
I don't. Well, no,
I'll
we're
take
talking
it.
strangling, Larry. We're just talking, not hitting,
Okay, or
just strangling.
strangled.
This girl,
I mean, I can understand it if you're married to a Democrat, but
Mhm.
don't do it.
but Kelly wrestled in high school on the boys' team as a girl.
I got on the
to be
team.
not pretending to be a boy, being a full girl, wrestled on the boys' team, made the team
In the 90s.
in the 90s, and
By the way, I was making a joke. I was not serious.
oh,
I
well,
say bring it. Come on, Big Mouth, let's go. Because I would joke her metaphorically on Twitter. No, so I don't do twatter because I ain't a twat.
well, we support we support you. I was going to say something.
I love you.
We support you 100%, and anybody else who has Grand Tetons, authentic Grand Tetons, because that's not a disqualification for us.
No,
Larry's like, I don't know when we got.
I'm
is Larry
more
coming back?
crude sometimes
Yes,
than most of you.
this has been true in the past. What did I say? I said when Kelly comes back, she's gonna tear
I'm
shit
hunting
up.
bears.
I'm hunting bears.
Yeah.
I said she's gonna be loaded for bear, wolves.
I heard you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't even know I'm driving down your road right now being all creepy stalkery.
He's like, you mean she's gonna come back and
I'm 5 minutes
and
away.
put stuff on the grill?
Yeah,
I'm like,
when-
no, she's shooting the shit that we're gonna have to put on the grill. Well, thank you for stopping in, Kelly.
I miss you guys. And as soon as I can, and my time frees up, which I'm hoping is this fall.
What's he saying? One Chad Kelly
Versus 14
14
virgin libtard soy boys. Chad Kelly.
Oh, that wrestling team must have been full of Democrat men. One Chad Kelly.
I was a featherweight.
Yeah, you wrestled one
I was
at 98, right?
I was under 100 pounds. I was a featherweight.
And did you win some matches against
No,
them?
they all forfeited. So because I was the only girl.
Okay.
There was girls hadn't pushed for
But
that
how did
yet.
you do in practice and stuff?
Well, I did pretty well.
Okay.
The heavier guy above me was 105, and so I practiced with him a lot. But my coach said I could do the tryouts as long as I got 4 other girls to try out too.
Okay.
So I got 4 friends to try out, and then they all said no when the girls' team was starting to develop. So yeah, I stayed. They left.
Oh, they developed a girls team.
Now they have a girls team, and
Oh.
actually there's a female champion on
Okay.
the team from the high school I went to out west.
Do transgender?
No, they're you should see, like, my son's on Brighton's team. We have some amazing female wrestlers, and I'm going to tell you right now, John Glenn High School has this little tiny girl that she is amazing. She's freaking amazing. I've seen her put a boy down with a leg and an arm and hold him by his arm down. I mean, she's amazing.
Right?
And I'm guaranteeing you she's going to be She's going to go to a good college on a good scholarship for what she can do. She's an amazing wrestler. You don't have to be a transgender person to be a good wrestler.
No, you don't. But I just wondered if transgender men,
I don't think
men pretending to be girls.
No, I've never encountered that.
I don't think they should get rid of the transgender.
They should have their own
people.
class.
They should have their own class.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them having their own class. I have a problem with men dressing as women and then picking on women in sports.
Yeah, I don't think the
have an issue
Wrestling
with that.
Association would allow that, honestly,
I
because
think-
it's all based on weight. Because males wrestle females all the time, but it's all based on your size. It's not based on skill. Well, I mean, kind of is based on skill, but it's mostly based on your weight.
So some big giant dude in a dress
Can't go against
can't
a
go
little
against
tiny girl. No.
a girl like
Right.
you.
No,
Oh.
because if it's 105
class.
pound, it doesn't matter if it's female or male. They'll go against each. I've seen plenty of girls wrestle boys.
That's why there's no transgender, very few transgender people you ever hear about in wrestling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They want to go and beat up a girl in something like
Boxing.
Or swimming.
Mhm.
swimming. Yeah. Did you hear that
Yes.
douchebag from the Olympics got all of his stuff got vacated?
They made a special class for him, though. Like, I actually read that they kind of altered. They gave back all his awards, but they made a special class for him, which
I thought they vacated it and said that they were no longer going to allow.
No, I
transgender.
read that they had. I read from them when I read their.
University of Pennsylvania said yes, no. They gave Riley Gaines
Nope.
back.
Yeah, Riley Gaines, but this was the Olympics where
Mhm. Yes.
the transgender boxer
Hmm.
Okay.
went in the ring in France there and beat up on the girl.
Mhm.
His stuff was all taken away.
Good. Good.
Fuck that guy.
Those people are pretty screwed up. What was I reading an article about it was a transgender man who is gay, which means it's a woman who trans into a man who likes men.
Right. So there's a lot of those relationships, a lot. And I'm like, what? It's a different kind of heterosexual relationship because that's essentially what it is, but it's backwards.
There was one that they switched. The guy in the relationship became a woman, and the woman became a guy.
Mhm.
And I'm like, neither one of you are gonna have normal sex ever again because if
But
you
that's
fuck up
why.
your genitals.
But they don't. That's the miscommunication.
lot
The
of bottom
majority
surgery.
don't have bottom surgery. Yes, very few. I
Because the
think
ones that do don't live very long.
no.
No, they
And
don't.
I heard some horror stories about the male to female transition.
Horrible.
Oh my gosh,
Horrible.
heartbreaking.
We've put the pictures up in the past on here, and it's not pretty.
No.
How they take muscle and tissue from the forearm, and then they show the forearm
Hmm.
and how horrible it is, and they give them this fake.
It looks like a can, a Coke can.
It's disgusting.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
awful.
it
Looks like a can.
It does. It looks like a Coke can.
Jeez,
It's with a nipple on top or something. I don't know. It's it's nightmarish. It,
Yeah.
it really is. It's nightmarish. What they do to those people is
And
just
it's
horrific.
non-functional.
Yes.
It's non-functional, and there's no sexual pleasure. It's just
Right.
it's
Yeah,
just
and I'm
awful.
sure you can't even urinate properly.
No.
They put a
do
plastic.
anything
There's a plastic
properly.
tube coming from the original equipment space down to
Mm.
down this fake phallic.
Well, on that note, I'm out of here.
They have to
Miss
take
you
lessons
guys.
from the Urine Brothers over here.
Quit teasing my fish.
I'm gonna walk my friend down to her car.
You are?
Yes.
Okay. Bye. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna
Good
give
seeing
Kelly
you
a
again.
hug.
Don't make it so long next time.
I won't. Like I said, I'll be back hopefully in the fall.
All right, Larry. Since you're going down, will you give me some water or some ice? I need ice for my Di Serono. And do it right, or I'll throw a bottle at you.
That's got Di Serono.
Huh?
So what do you want? Ice and water in it?
Just
Hi,
water,
Kelly.
just ice.
Just ice.
Yeah, get out.
Oh,
I'm
this
not
is
hugging
my
you,
first time
fucker.
being back, actually.
In a long time.
In like
Nice.
months.
Yeah, it's his first time back. Your first time back in months. It's his first time back in like a year.
Yeah.
Good to see you, honey.
I know. Bye, guys.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye.
Tell that Mayo dude. I'll meet him wherever he needs to.
I'm letting Jeff. You were on notice there, Jeff A. Mayo, that Kelly will kick your ass whenever you say it. This is not a Biden behind the. I'll take him behind the bleachers. Kick his ass. That's what I'll do. But Trump, he wants to talk shit. I'll talk shit. Hey, I don't sweat him, man. Hey, man. Tell you what, and by the way, hey. Yeah, I can't even keep up with you guys, and you're using all caps and yelling. Listen here, brother. I want to see if Jiffy Pop Colt slam Kelly in a WWE match. You guys are so full of shit. I love it. Listen here, kiddos. If that Teddy brat says one more bad thing about us Poomers, I'm going to send him to Alligator Alcatraz.
The Croc.
The Croc.
The Croc. The Rock and the Croc.
That's awesome. You guys are tearing chat up. I love it. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. You can chat in all caps, but you can't hit a thumb button, a thumb button.
Yeah.
The thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Well, while Larry's not here, let's talk about something controversial. Yeah, we'll get into more wins and losses. You know, there's far more wins. We're very excited, but I think, Trump hit the ground. His first 100 days were phenomenal, and then we hit some snags. I don't think the big, beautiful bill is as beautiful.
As beautiful as they say it is.
It's big. It's a monstrosity. But I don't think it's as beautiful as we would like it to be, and it's definitely got some bullshit in it. But that's the type of stuff we're doing. So,
well, we'll probably never know everything that's in the damn thing. All we know is it's called the Big Beautiful Bill.
Yes.
And some of the things that are in it, which some are good, maybe, and some are horrible. But we don't know because we're not reading it. And if we did, it's probably about from a floor to here that thick. So,
it's 950 pages. Not what I read.
I was joking about it earlier today, and like
940 pages.
You know, they could take a giant rod with on a plunger and call it the Liberty Freedom free shit rod.
Free shit
and
rod.
everyone signs up to go see the rod.
Yeah.
And then
well, that's what they did.
Fucks them in the ass.
That's what they did with the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
That's what they did with the Patriot Act.
What I'm saying is, like, you could be staring at the thing like, oh, I don't want anything to do with that. And then they go, oh, but it's the Patriot Freedom Rod. You sure you don't want to try it?
So as I'm trying to...
Well, we're going to make you try it anyway.
Yeah, Schumer presses for this bill to be read on the floor. And I typed in Big Beautiful Bill floor time, and it pops up with these articles of Hakeem Jeffries sets a record for 8 hours and 44 minutes on Thursday, delaying the final passage of the Republicans' budget bill. You know what you did, Hakeem? You let everybody know what kind of a piece of shit you are.
He was not happy, for 8 hours.
8.5 hours. He 8 hours 44 minutes.
What do they call that? He's
filibuster.
Filibuster.
Yeah, it was technically supposed to be a filibuster, but he just ended up bloviating for.
I'm just going to repeat the same thing.
I'm just going to say platitude. Platitude. Free stuff. Platitude. Elect me. Free stuff. Platitude.
Free stuff.
Pacify.
Lies.
Free stuff.
Straight up lie. Straight up lie for you.
Straight up lie for you. Free stuff. Pacify. Platitude.
Sell out all your jobs. Yep. Overseas jobs. Yep. Selling them all.
I got your back.
Just for you.
I ripped it right out, and I'm holding on to it.
8 hours and 44 minutes.
What a douche.
He couldn't take a shit or anything during that period of time.
He probably went to that 8 hour 40. You know what you do? You do a good enema, get you all flushed out. You don't eat. You put in a catheter. And you give up there and give a bullshit speech. I unfortunately had to listen to a few people playing it, excerpts of it. And that was torture enough. I mean, it was literally platitudes and bullshit. There was no depth of it was just bullshit.
No substance.
No substance whatsoever.
Nice.
All right. Let's see here. Kind of stalling and waiting for Larry. You guys in chat are crazy mofos.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Control
folks.
the caps. Dale, get after them. Dale, didn't I make you a mod? Use code Jeremy for your methylene blue injections. That's right, Bobby. That's a good point. You guys all need to go to the Alex Jones store. .com/this is my brain. Go to that store right there and buy something good. Get you some methylene blue. Get you some, what did I just order? Oh, I got the Shilajit. We just ordered the Shilajit.
That shit legit.
It's just legit.
That shit legit.
You've been taking it for a while.
Yep.
What's your recommendation on that?
Shit legit.
Is that shit legit? What would you say about
Shit
that?
legit.
You care
I've
to
taken it
elaborate
for
on that
like
shit?
3 months.
And?
It's pretty good.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
Shit's legit.
I think a lot of stuff.
Yes, I do as well.
I did a dropper and a half of the methylene blue
Yeah.
with my Turbo Force, with my Hydro Force. This morning, chugged it right before I left the house.
Did you?
Didn't eat all day. I had a brat all day. That's all I ate
Yeah.
until I got here.
I wanted to get some of the nitro.
Oh, Nitric Boost?
Yeah.
Did you get any, or you were
No,
going to?
I wanted to. I want to. I
What's the brand over at Alex Jones store?
Nitric Boost?
Yeah, is it still Nitric Boost? Nitric Boost Plus or something like that?
Yeah.
It's Nitric Boost.
On
They
the
still
Alex
got
Jones
the-
store?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's still the red and white.
I love that stuff, dude.
That stuff is like, if you're taking it consistently through, like, use the whole bottle consistently, any kind of workout or anything that you do with your muscles, and like your veins are going to be, like, it'll clean out your blood basically, and your blood's going to flow better around your body. All your muscles are going to be like, whoa, we work again, man. This is cool.
Makes your endothelium relax inside your arteries, so your blood flows better.
Yep. Yeah, and that
Nitro Boost.
that takes away a lot of possibilities for anything to get stuck or caught or clot or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right. Clears you out. And there's a lot more homeopathic stuff.
Plus, your organs work better when your blood's clean.
Yeah.
Everything in your body works better.
John Bovey wants to know where he can get this shirt with the thin blue line. I believe this came from Dunham's. And if it didn't come from Dunham's, then Vicky found it online, my mother-in-law, and it ended up in my closet. And I went, oh, cool, new shirt, because she does that. She's done that for you, too. We just walks down, she throws a couple shirts at us. And it was all these patriotic shit. We're like, okay, cool.
Cool.
And then he says, John Bovey's typing in there, and this is all caps, of course, so I don't know if I'm supposed to yell this out.
Yes, you're supposed to yell
And
it.
Barron said, listen here, brother, I have a First Amendment right to do all caps to own the libtard commies and the Democrat KKKs. Okay, anyways. Then John Bovey says in all caps, last time I took methylene blue, I woke up naked with Steve Gronkowski's chestnuts on my forehead. So I don't know what that means. If that's quite literal or not, but that's disgusting.
I think you might have had blue meth, not methylene blue.
Yes.
Right, a little different.
It's a little bit different. Yeah.
Switch the words around there.
Yeah. I had some blue meth before. Because popcorn was a bad dude.
Breaking Bad, that means it's pure shit. When it's blue.
So all caps is demon craps. Democrats.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm excited about getting the the Shilajit coming up here.
Now, what does that do for you? I mean, I've read about it, but
You know what? I'm going to go to the store real quick, and I'm going to find it for us.
I believe they say it's like a vitality thing.
Yeah, there's multiple things. Larry, don't forget my ice.
I won't.
Did you stop and have a smoke? I'm typing in my own thing here. There we go. Right there. Super sale. Methylene blue Shilajit complex right there. Does it go to Shilajit? There it is. Okay. Shilajit super complex. I'll go to the wall feed here, guys. Shilajit complex super infused supplement. I've been taking Shilajit complex for a few weeks now. My energy is through the roof. I feel unstoppable, focused, and ready to crush every day. The one I heard was today was a guy saying that he when he called in, he said, "Look, man, if you're not, you need to get Shilajit for if you're doing any type of workouts, you know, and any type of athletic workout routines, it just takes you over the top." So, 90-day benefits: testosterone support, mental clarity, libido booster. You've got to have the libido booster. You can't say the word libido without feeling Latino.
this is true.
We got libido booster. It just makes you. It's like
Latino.
you want what was her name? The little Rosie Perez. Latino booster. You just want her to shake her head and shit. And I'm not even on camera while I'm doing it.
Does it actually increase your testosterone, or what does it do?
It says naturally promotes healthy testosterone levels for peak performance. Endurance amplifier, boost stamina and physical strength. Cellular energy supercharges your mitochondria to sustain energy at a cellular level. And anti-aging power fights fatigue and oxidative stress, keeping you feeling youthful and strong. All good stuff. I need to get it.
Who's the picture of in the bottom?
That's Alex Jones before he shaved his head.
Okay. He kind of looks like the Latino man.
Latino man!
Free shipping?
Free shipping on orders over $95. You let me know if you throw it in your cart and you don't get your shipping over that. I will definitely jump in with you. But go to the alexjonesstore.com/thisismybrain and get you some Shilajit. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff here. Let's see. Sea moss. I did that. How did you feel in the sea moss, Vince? I didn't really I didn't notice a huge thing, but I was taking 3 or 4 things, so I didn't notice a big thing with the sea moss.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell when you take so many things at the same time.
Right. It's only when you quit them that you go, okay.
Yeah.
This is the newest one here, Ultimate Burn.
If you go
I thought
on,
you were talking about my newest sister.
Stop.
if you go on Infowars.com,
Yeah.
Infowars store,
Mm-hmm.
they have the bodies back in stock.
Ooh, but I'm is that I'm parts of the gummies now.
Yeah.
What's the one I'm taking down there? Is that Body's gummies?
That's the
No, it's turmeric.
turmeric gummies, yeah. With black pepper and ginger.
You pop the little plastic thing out so you can get it all out of there.
I am going to keep this bottle around in case Larry pisses me off and I can throw it. Because that's a big fucking bottle to whip around.
He is, I noticed. Yeah.
Turn your mic on, Larry. I'm not a bully.
Yep. You
There you
I
go.
didn't say I would throw it at you. I said I would
Throw it.
throw it because of you. Maybe I did say at you, but it is okay. So anyways, there you go. Winning and losing. So we've talked about a bunch of things that are in the big, beautiful bill. It's been signed. Now what? What do we do with it? So let's talk a little bit more about the Epstein list, and then we can move on. I do want to play. What do you think about the Epstein list all of a sudden disappearing, and Bongino and Patel and Bondi all pivoting, and then Trump getting pissed off at a reporter today about it?
I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. I'm totally in the dark.
I have a hard time swallowing the rhetoric that, all of a sudden now, there's no information.
Yes.
Right? Why now, all of a sudden, is there no information?
Correct.
We all know what Epstein did.
Right.
And we know that Bill Clinton flew to the island 26 times.
Yeah, multiple times, yeah.
Yeah. So he allegedly committed suicide. I don't buy it.
Yeah, sure. If
could I just interrupt
for 1 second?
I'm trying to pause it. I was trying to play it. Finish your thought, Larry, and then I want to play what we're.
Well, go ahead and play that, then, because
Okay.
I just don't buy it. We'll leave my thought there, and then we'll talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. If
could I just interrupt for 1
Sure.
second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that.
Correct.
And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
See, but that's not it on Epstein, and that's the problem.
No, it is a problem.
Is that it's pardon, you have to pardon me, guys. I may be standing up for a little bit. I gotta.
Well, what's
pretty severe cramp in
irritating,
my leg.
let's play devil advocate for a minute. Right? Well,
Okay.
here's what's irritating me. Why now? Right? They're just discovering now that all these videos were child porn. How long has the United States government had the child porn videos?
Correct.
Why weren't we notified under the previous administration that it was child porn? So are they telling me this is what I'm seeing? This is what they want me to believe. This is what they want us to swallow. Nobody looked at this until now, and it's just child porn. And well, I shouldn't say it that way,
Right.
because there's no such thing as just child porn. It's child porn.
Correct.
All right. I do believe, Bondi, that it's child porn. Right? I do believe that. I don't think she'd lie about that. Right? But I want to know why now.
Well-
and why wait all this time? Right? Why is it taking this long? Because was it 2023? January or February 23 when he died? So they've had this evidence for years, And all of a sudden now, it's child porn.
Yeah, and part of the problem again is that you take it if you take from this press conference, if you take out Trump's reaction to the journalist saying, "Why are you asking about this now?" Why? What do you mean? Why are we asking about this now? Elon called you out less than 3 weeks ago, saying you're on the list, and you didn't respond to it directly. We know that he's on the list for taking one flight from New York down to Florida.
Yeah.
Never going to the island, never being involved in child trafficking, never being involved in underage kids.
Yes.
Kicked Epstein out of his place when he found out he was in there propositioning underage girls.
Right.
Trump's clean on this.
Right.
But he didn't respond like a guy who's clean on this.
Right.
And then when the reporter asked this, he attacks the reporter. Why are you asking such a stupid question? It's a stupid question. No. Pam answers correctly. She's like, we went through all of it. It was on my desk. Come to find out it's mostly all child porn. We're not releasing that. Okay. I can handle that explanation if you get out in front of the explanation.
Right.
When you wait for a reporter to corner you and then Trump responds all pissed off, why are you asking about Epstein? There's too much talk about Epstein. Because the guy that was your buddy, your right-hand man,
right,
for the first part of the term.
I kind of understand why Trump would be pissed off about it, because you got a flood going on, a disaster going on in Texas right now.
I understand.
You know, and so I'm gonna
hear there's another one that just hit North Carolina again.
But I know Texas is expecting more heavy rain within the next day or so.
Yeah.
And I, you know, and it's sad.
Sounds like you're talking
I mean,
about
could you
something that has
imagine?
to do with natural weather.
No.
That's just asinine.
No, it's not natural.
We don't have natural weather.
That's the problem is that they're...
Well, does Texas allow seeding still? Cloud seeding or chemtrails, whatever you want to call it?
What they want you to focus on is cloud seeding, and what they want you not to look at is geoengineering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the trillion-dollar industry that no one seems to know anything about.
Correct.
Other than all the crap they're spraying in the sky. You know. But the cloud seeding stuff has been around since airplanes have been around. They started crop dusting all the fields and everything.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have to.
They started spraying chemicals as soon as they possibly could. You know, all the way back in the 30s, I think, when that started.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
pesticides, at least.
The technics.
Right. Pesticides are chemicals. Yeah.
Correct. And the technology for that was developed in the fully developed during the Vietnam War, where they flooded out the Ho Chi Minh Trail by seeding clouds, so much so that all the major countries of the world signed a weather weapons treaty that they would not use weather weapons on each other in warfare, but they were not restricted from using the weapons on their own countries.
Yeah.
So what most people don't realize...
And they were saying back then that they had perfected the technique.
Perfected it, yeah. And what most people don't... They can steer... so what people think... You see the domes on the side of the road, the little balls up on stilts, and they just think that's just radar to see what clouds are coming. No, it's actually very powerful ion broadcasters as well, and they can direct storms with those. They don't want to tell you that, because if they told us that, then we shouldn't be enduring these shitty weather patterns. You, knowing, Larry, how many times you've had to deal with power outages. You deal with power outages all the time, dude.
Yeah.
More than anybody else I know of. I'm like, you got power out again?
Yeah.
How long? What was your last year? You had a power out for like 5 days or some shit, didn't you?
A couple days. Yeah.
Was it a couple days?
Yeah, a couple days, and then our power was out. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
we lost power. I had to I had to fire up my new generator.
Right.
And found out that it'll run the whole house plus one AC unit.
Nice.
I stood outside and told my wife, "Okay, turn on the AC unit," and I listened to the AC unit start up to see if it struggled, and it sounded normal.
Right.
And then I had her shut it off again. And I walked up to the generator. And I had my wife on the phone. I told her, okay, start the AC again. She flipped it to cool again, and the generator went boop and kept right on running normal. Just a little boop, and that was it. So 13,500 watt generator from Harbor Freight did the job.
Nice.
That's so that was a nice little upgrade. My last generator, this generator is 13,500 watt surge with 11,500 constant, and my other one was it's also 50. Is it amp or it's amps, right?
How many what?
50 amp, I think, versus my other one, which was 10,000 watts, 7,500 watt constant, 30 amp. This one is 13.5, 11.5, 50 amp.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the test. I let it run. We were only out of power for 45 minutes. And
so you guys can look this up. Amps times voltage is how you get your wattage. Most people don't. They just read wattage and think of, oh, that's so many watts. Well, it's amps times voltage.
So 220 times 50 is 13.5. That's right. Or is that 11? If your formula is correct,
220 times 50.
Yeah.
Should give you 1,100, right? What'd you say yours was? 1,100?
11,500 constant, 13.5 surge.
And that's across the board. So you got to realize that if you've got more than one outlet,
yeah,
with more than one breaker, it'll tell you your ratings. While you're doing the math on that, this is from geoengineeringwatch.org. If you guys haven't gone over here and read some of their stuff, their main thing, but this is their news alert here, orchestrating biblical floods. Officials report multiple deaths from catastrophic flooding in Texas. If you haven't paid attention to that, it's up over 100 now. Air pollution linked to lung cancer, driving DNA mutations. That's from The Guardian. Fear, trust, and other human factors are vital, yet overlooked pieces of the solar geoengineering research. Question, do these pieces all fit together? Has weather, chemical, and biological warfare long since been taking place in our skies? Should it come as any surprise that the public is alarmed and has lost all trust? The latest installment of the global news. And I don't know if this is, let me see what's...
It lays the predicate and the foundation for the development of a weather satellite that will permit man to determine the world's cloud layer and ultimately to control the weather, and he who controls the weather will control the world.
Oh, that's LBJ. We know LBJ, right? Inherited the throne when Kennedy was assassinated. So anyways, that's one thing going on there. Let's see, Epstein Client list. We did that a little bit. You guys can check that out. We did Big Beautiful Bill. So that's good. Let's get to the brain freeze since we're hitting our 10 o'clock hour here. Did you knock it out as soon as you stepped up? It's on a timer. The light's on a timer, yeah. Patrick's just all obsessed about my that one fish tank over there. I'll have it cleaned up beautiful for you next time.
The fishies are looking sad there, man. If I had to live in a green place, I wouldn't know if I'd be happy.
It's only green from the outside. Let's see here. What do we got? Listen here, brother. There's no coincidence that this Epstein cover-up is happening the same time that Bibi Netanyahu visits the White House. I will not disagree with you, but I don't know how to explore it. John Bobby says, he was just a sick man with a lot of money somehow and knew every person in power somehow. And he just had a little child porn. Brother, there's nothing else to see here. I tend to agree with that. What do you think?
A little child porn?
Just a little child porn. No big deal.
Jesus said in the Bible, if you mess with the little ones, you might as well not ever have been born.
It'd be better for you to have a millstone tied around your neck
That's
and be
it.
cast in the depths of the sea than to harm one of these little ones.
Yeah.
Yep, they're disgusting. Disgusting. I don't have strong enough words for them. Let's do this. I'm going to play a little video for you guys. You guys like videos?
We love videos.
Okay, I'm going to play a video for you guys. Video for you guys. Let's see here. Not that one. Not this one. Oh, I did want to show you this meme. This is a good meme. Let's see here. There's a good meme for you. We will release the Epstein list. We just need a little more time. The Epstein list is on my desk. There's no Epstein. There's no Epstein list.
Yeah.
It's clown world. It's clown world there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't deserve to know. Is that it?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
And it's some pretty powerful people that are on that list. And therefore, they're paying off folks to make sure that that doesn't come out.
Yep. Yep. All right. Where did I put the list here? Ken, you sent me something. I can't play it on the show unless you tell me what it's for. Where is it at? Oh, don't tell me I didn't save this in the right spot. I thought I saved it for sure. I thought I saved it on X. Let me check my phone. Anyways, I want to play you guys the a montage, a little montage, if you will, of all these people. Oh, it's the wrong account. That's why. I know I saved it. No, I don't want to log out. Oh, God bless me.
We'll probably get it going soon.
Are you going to get going soon?
Yep.
It's only 10 o'clock, bro.
Sweating.
You're sweating up here?
I'm just sitting here.
It's that hat. It's holding all that brain power in. And it's just working overtime now.
Yeah.
How do I get to the save bookmarks? Oh, there we go.
Did I tell you about that guy I discovered? Random guy on a podcast.
Random guy.
Random guy.
I was like scrolling through my videos, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, he was like, one of the things that led to my success today, he's like, I figured out how to patent my own name. He said, so when I took out my credit card, they tried to pull my credit report, right? And I was contacted by a patent attorney. He said, hey, they're trying to use your name for this credit report. So he sued them, got $50,000.
No.
For whatever patent infringement or whatever, because they used his name without his express permission.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm like, if that's possible, for this guy, then it should be possible for
Anybody.
Yeah. And he was saying, like, so I can take out a credit card, I can get a loan from my bank, and they can never pull my credit report unless they want to pay me $50,000. He's like, so I basically have like a limited money, and after the first time, I got a lawyer. He's on retainer now to make sure that.
Seems to me, though, if you're trying to get a line of credit, you're giving them permission to pull your line of credit. So,
I don't know. He just seemed to have figured something out, and was like, can't be that simple.
no, something else going on there.
All right, I found it.
What? That would be cool. That would be advantageous if that was possible.
It would be cool. All right, I found it. Wall feed, and let's go.
There's a legal way to do it, so you don't have to sneak across in the first place.
VIP. We do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens.
There's a legal way to do it, so you don't have to sneak across in the first place.
Yeah. There's a longer one without background music. Oh, look at that. Oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. Anyways, there's a longer one with Bush, Obama, Clinton, all talking about illegal immigrants coming across and how we can't allow it and it shouldn't happen. And then Trump ran and now they're all for it. So.
Right.
So that was one.
That's standard. That is standard Democrat hypocrisy.
It is.
They are the biggest hypocrites that have ever walked the face of this earth. What's the Bible say about hypocrites?
Hypocrites are.
That's right up there with excessive pride and homosexuality, isn't it?
I saw that video.
And telling lies.
The hell is it?
Yeah, hypocrisy is an abomination.
It's Philadelphia.
What is this?
4th
What is
July.
this? I don't even know.
It's Philadelphia, 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
249 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed.
This is happening on the streets right in front of a house. The dude can't even shoot a gun. What are you doing?
What are they?
What are you shooting at?
That's a good question, man.
I can see.
Another rival gang, probably.
Yeah, but it doesn't even look like. Look at how this guy shoots.
He's got a full auto trigger on that. It's a Glock 18. He's got a G18 mod on there, so it's full auto. So he's going.
There's no aiming.
Well,
I mean,
what happens when you don't follow the law? You get whatever cool gadget you want.
It's crazy.
How many red flag laws and gun laws do they have in Philadelphia?
All right. Anyways,
what's Laura Loomer? What has she expanded on that post? You know,
I didn't see
about. Yeah, I can't believe you're asking me a question about Epstein at this time. And
that was the clip we played from Trump,
right? And at that time, probably wasn't a good day. There's a lot of crap going on.
Yeah, but they're avoiding the question. They're quietly trying to cover it up. So when do they ask? And you've had multiple. You've had multiple times where reporters ask questions off the initial topics, and Trump doesn't blow up on them. I just find it. I a Trump supporter 100%.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's perfect. Doesn't mean.
Oh gosh, no, he's not perfect.
Exactly.
None of us are.
And so I'm looking at it, going, "What are
Except
you doing,
for Jeremy?"
Fucking hell. Yeah. Cuomo, he's a piece of shit. What do we think?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for just a minute.
Well, isn't Cuomo better than this communist? that's
Oh,
running
sure,
for-
yeah, I'd
What's
rather
that
have-
guy's name? Anybody
That's like
remember?
saying, do you want the serial killer or the guy who just shot his neighbor because he didn't like his lawn?
Yeah.
It's not even his real name.
I'll take the lawn guy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this guy wants to tax people for being white.
I think some of us should be because we're just that cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard the theory about
He wants government
America
owned
going bankrupt
stores.
in 1933?
And what happened?
1933.
In 1933.
Is that the year that they started the Federal Reserve?
No, it was 1913.
1913 they started the Federal Reserve?
Yeah. And the income tax. But anyways, 1933, America went bankrupt.
Yes.
So then we jumped into World War II
Right. And that's where we get the baby boomers.
because Woodrow Wilson signed the next however many generations of Americans
Up as debt slaves in 1913.
to up as 1933.
But Wilson was president during the.
Well,
you talk about FDR.
To basically to like remedy the bankruptcy of the country. When Woodrow Wilson was in power, that's what he signed.
That's why we went off the gold standard, isn't it?
Right.
because of the 1933 bankruptcy?
Well, we went off the gold standard during
Whoa.
officially
Nixon.
when Nixon was in
Yeah,
office.
Nixon did that.
Well, he's the
But-
one that
but FDR
yeah,
is the
but
one
it
that
started.
confiscated
Yeah,
gold.
it started before that. I mean, I'm old enough to remember silver certificates.
Yeah.
They it said right on there this
If you have
you could
had
exchange it for gold or silver and
a $2
or not.
silver certificate,
Yeah.
you haven't held one of the coolest pieces of currency.
You want me to bring a couple to the next
I
podcast?
got a couple in my.
Do you?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
bring a couple.
Yeah.
I'll pull them up here so people can see them.
Yeah. So, but since you wanted to talk about bring up the income tax, back in the 1800s, they tried to bring the income tax in, and the Supreme Court threw it out, said it was unconstitutional. The only reason that this income tax is constitutional because income tax in the United States of America is based on voluntary compliance. Did you know that?
Didn't know, I
In
know.
other words,
Did you know that?
consent.
Voluntary compliance. You assess yourself with a tax. When you sit down, you fill out that 1040. You are assessing yourself
Yeah, well,
with
then
the tax.
how is it
and
they
you're
can audit
doing
you then?
so
How is it they can
voluntarily.
audit? How can they audit you then? How do they have the power to audit you?
Because nobody stops them. That's the same thing with this. The whole thing about the income tax being if you I should bring in Title 26, give it to Jeremy so we can go over it, and we can talk about some of the stuff. A lot of it I have is tabbed for quick access, but
Yeah, and the Federal Reserve's never been audited
right.
successfully anyway.
Right, because the Internal Revenue Service, or the IRS, is actually the biggest federal mafia
Yep.
in human history, and they violate the Constitution left and right. They don't have to get a court order. They don't get court orders. They don't, hey, you owe us money, pay up. Ask them for a court order.
Right.
They won't even answer you. They won't even answer you. You know, they will totally ignore your. Got a court order? Where'd their judge say? They send these things out to your employer called a levy, right? And your employer looks at it. Ask your employer if you ever get a levy assessed against your paycheck. Ask your employer, where's the court order?
Exactly.
There's a levy. Where's the court order ordering that levy to be enacted? It's not ever going to be there. I had a letter come to me from the IRS ordering me to take it out of an employee's paycheck, to garnish a paycheck for an employee. So I sent the IRS back a letter and I said, thank you very much for your correspondence requesting a levy against so-and-so on his paycheck weekly, but you seem to left out the court order. So I will hold this levy for 90 days until you send me the court order that authorizes this deduction. Never heard from him. And I never garnished the wages.
And that's the thing is people pray. That's the number one thing that happens to all people,
right?
Especially in a free country, is they prey on our compliance and our moral compass, not theirs.
Right, right. Because people don't understand. You know, I mean, I understand because I understand the Constitution. If somebody sends me a bill and it's $20 or more, right? I say, where's the court order? I don't owe you any money.
Exactly.
I don't have the power to do this, and neither do you. You got to show me where in the Constitution an IRS agent has the authority to garnish somebody's wages. It's not there.
It's not there. And to Vince's point, when the guy incorporated his own name,
It was
so
either
he
a
was
patent or a trademark.
yeah, he was seizing upon his own legal fiction, which nobody had officially patented.
Because when you're born on your birth certificate, your parents write your name, but they stamp it or they print it on there
in all
in
caps.
all capital letters.
Yeah, that's your legal
And
fiction.
then that certificate creates
a corporation.
a fictional corporation,
Yeah.
then your name is tied to with your social security number and everything you do throughout your entire life. You know, it's tied all to that one thing. And it's like, if that's how they're looking at all of us, you know,
Yep.
why are we even discussing how good or bad they're running things?
Let me ask you a question. What the hell is what's behind this real ID thing? What is the story behind it? It's more than they put a star on your driver's license. What's the purpose?
The real ID?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They probably got some more advanced micro, whatever the fuck system built into whatever little card they give you. They got stuff so advanced, man. Like,
I was told to stay away from it because it allows them to track you more easily.
Yeah.
I have not done
I'd say
that.
any kind of government granted privilege license card is likely to be a dead end.
Yeah, and whatever they're doing now, they've been doing for a long time. I mean, they had compact discs 20 years before they ever released.
They want to digitize everything, convince everyone that it's for our own benefit, right? But the second they have everything digitized, they can rip it all away.
Yeah.
Everyone's bank account's at zero. You know what? Actually, you're at negative $1 trillion because we said so.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They don't want any kind of benefits for anyone except for them.
All right, I'll read this. What is the purpose of the Real ID? The purpose of the Real ID is to establish minimum security standards for state-issued driver's license permits and ID cards, ensuring they meet federal requirements for identification purposes. It was enacted by Congress in 2005 as a response to the 9/11 Commission recommendation that federal government set standards for assurance of sources of identification such as driver's licenses. The Real ID Act aims to enhance national security by ensuring that state-issued IDs are more reliable and secure, allowing them to be used for official purposes such as boarding a commercial aircraft, accessing federal facilities, and entering nuclear power plants. Additionally, Real ID compliant IDs can use a form of identification for domestic travel and other federal purposes, making it more convenient for citizens to travel within the United States without needing additional forms of ID. But that's their side of the story.
You know what I just heard? I just heard we're putting this bullshit on here. We already have everything that you just described.
Yeah.
It's already all there. I think they're just putting a new name on something.
Well, I think from what I'm reading
it's
here
already in place.
Is that it may have been in place there. Maybe they didn't want 50 different standards of how to get a driver's license, because maybe in the libtard state, an illegal alien could get a driver's license, while the Real ID is harder to get.
Yeah.
Because you gotta,
Is that the one you're talking about, or you're talking about something else?
Talking about the Real ID.
Yeah. Now I don't know what negatives come with that. This is just their side of the story. So you always got to remember, okay, what are the negatives to it?
Well, now you can't do anything unless you check all those boxes.
Right.
Correct.
Right, and with all the people that have entered our country illegally, but here's the thing: isn't that a states' rights issue? A state driver's license. So what gives Congress any authority over a state-issued driver's license? But once you cross a state line,
interstate commerce.
It's interstate commerce, and then the federal government has jurisdiction. So, but that was my problem with the gay marriage case, which it was a case. Was that Owenfelder? I think is the name of that case. The the federal government, as far as I know, doesn't issue marriage licenses. So how can they claim jurisdiction to change what they are? Because they're no longer the same thing that they used to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they mean something different.
Right.
Because marriage used to be a union between one man and one woman in this country. Now it's not.
Right.
So, and I don't see how the federal court had any jurisdiction. And the more I look at the Constitution, the less chance of them having jurisdiction over it I find. The gross violation of the 10th Amendment.
A lot of things start to make sense when you look at it from a perspective of nothing is our government, nothing is America anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all, it's all captured.
And I want to expand on this gay marriage stuff right there. The Constitution is clear about freedom of religion. So if gay people can find the church of homosexuals and they marry each other in their church, I'm fine with that. I don't have nothing to say. Right? But I have something to say about an activist court ruling where I can't find any constitutional jurisdiction for the Supreme Court to even see the case, let alone make a ruling on it. As far as the Constitution goes, under the First Amendment, freedom of religion, you find a religion that allows same-sex couples to get married in that church. As far as I'm concerned, I'm fine with that. I'm a Christian, so in my world, there's no such thing as gay marriage. It doesn't exist. Even if you have a state issue wedding license or marriage license, all right, I'm fine with that. They lied to you, but I'm fine with that.
They could have easily entered into civil unions.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any. I'll never consider it a marriage. Let me put it that way. I mean, you can show me a marriage license. It means nothing. It means zilch. Right? Because the Bible says marriage is between a man and a woman. It came right out of Jesus's mouth. I believe that's Matthew. That it came right out of Jesus's mouth. He said a man will leave his parents and he will take a wife and they will become as one. Right? It's the end of it. That's what marriage is. Nothing else is a marriage.
Larry, you're being accused in the chat of being a sovereign citizen.
Oh.
I thought this was interesting. We're talking about marriage. Divorce rates.
Yes.
Yeah. Divorce rates between men and women. First marriages, 42%.
Yes.
Divorce rates between women, one woman marrying a woman, 72%. Here goes where it gets real interesting. Divorce rates between two men getting married. Guess what that is?
85.
28%. So what does that tell you? Women are the problem.
I have to agree with that. I mean, you can't argue with numbers. 28%. Wow.
God, I thought you might get a kick out of it.
I was going to add, though, that the other aspect of that is primarily the Democrats, some Republicans have done it too, but they will single out a group, right, that's allegedly being picked on, like the homosexual community. When we all know there weren't mobs of people going around, nothing was happening to them, for the most part, they were not being attacked or persecuted.
In the Middle East, they throw them off tops of buildings.
Yeah, a lot of other countries they were, but not here. Right? So the Democrats get behind him and go, "You're attacking them and their rights and blah blah blah, and you're bad because they should have their own freedoms too." Blah 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 blah. When the whole time they never mention the fact that if you're an American citizen, if you're an American.
America.
Right?
Pew, pew.
If you are an American, you have all of the exact same rights as every other fucking American.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what anything that you
Well,
are.
that was like the argument that they used before the court, right? For the Owenfelder case, the gay marriage case. If I'd have been a judge and they brought that argument to me, I'd fine them for bringing a frivolous case to my court.
That's what I'm saying.
Because see, they made the argument.
They made all these laws for that one little group.
Yeah, they made the argument.
Now all of us can be
that they
prosecuted.
just wanted the same rights as everybody else. That's well. Wait a minute.
They already had
They already had that right. All right. In this country, before the Owenfelder case, before that gay marriage case, every man in this country had the right to marry a woman. Everyone. If you were gay, if you're a gay man, you had the right to marry a woman. If you're a straight man, you had the right to marry a woman. Right? So everybody already had equal rights. Right? But they made argument before the Supreme Court that actually should have been tossed out as frivolous. Because they already had the same rights. Everybody already had equal rights. They wanted extra rights, is what they wanted. They wanted a right that never existed. And that is for people of the same sex to be joined in marriage.
Right.
And the whole
straight
purpose of
men
that-
never had the right. Before that case, straight men never had the right to marry another man.
Right.
Straight women never had the right to marry another woman.
Right.
Right? So the whole argument was frivolous, was silly, was without merit.
And ultimately led to them pretending to give another group a right over top of everyone else.
Yeah, the Owenfelder case.
When they were actually just taking rights away from everyone.
Yeah, the Owenfelder case is actually as bad as Roe versus Wade was. Roe versus Wade was another case that stomped all over the 10th Amendment and the 9th Amendment. Both of them violate the 9th Amendment as well.
Yeah.
The 9th Amendment is the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage other rights retained by the people, where our other right that was retained by the people was the 10th Amendment right to state rights. So it violated the 9th and the 10th Amendment, just like Roe versus Wade.
Which ultimately was what? Turn back to the states.
Right. And it's the gay marriage thing should be overturned.
100%.
Because
everyone warning us about what it was going to lead to.
Unless somebody
it led to all of it.
Yeah, unless somebody wants to sit down and show me where I'm wrong.
Yeah. Sure.
Right. Shifting gears while you're getting ready for your lightning round over there, Larry.
All right, I got a good one to start with.
All right, I'm going to do this one first.
I'm actually
you going to go?
I'm going to get going, yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Thanks for
joining. Thanks for playing along, Vince.
It's been fun.
Taylor Vincent, there he goes.
Gotta get at it early tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe I'm at 10.
10 o'clock.
So looking at this post on InfoWars, may they get what they voted for. Pediatrician fired after 6 sick posts wishing death to pro-MAGA Texas flood victims. Here's her post. Christina. Who names their kid Christina? Just name her Christina. You see that?
Her name Christina Stina?
I don't know.
Christina Tina?
May all visitors, children, and non-MAGA voters and pets be safe and dry. Kerr County MAGA voters to gut FEMA. They deny climate change. May they get what they voted for. Bless their hearts. You know what, bitch? You lost your fucking job.
Thank God.
Leftist pediatrician in Texas was fired and condemned by her employer over the weekend after she wished death on supporters of President Donald Trump, who may have been victims in the deadly Central Texas Independence Day floods. Dr. Christina B. Probst, a former physician at the Bluefish Pediatrics in Houston, targeted MAGA voters in a vile Facebook post saying she hoped that they got what they deserved.
These were kids. There's a lot of kids that got killed here that didn't vote.
As search and rescue crews continue to uncover more victims. I'm not going to reread her disgusting quote there, but there it is.
See you later, bro. See you, man.
Bluefish Pediatrics condemned props. We dropped that chair.
Props, blue ribbon.
We dropped that chair. Props comments announcing Sunday she was no longer employed at the practice. 2 hour fellow. So this is Texas. Thank you, sir. 2 hour patients and community.
Texas.
At Bluefish Pediatrics, our hearts are broken for the families that are impacted by the devastation. I'm trying to do a Texas accent. I don't know if you're getting close. The devastated flooding in our Central County. Anyways, they fired her ass. And good riddance. The deranged leftist cruel sentiments towards MAGA voters came as officials estimate over 100 people were killed over the weekend by devastating floods that ravaged the Central Texas Hill country over July 4th holiday. You know, it's similar. Reminds me of when they had the POSs there from FEMA in, was it North Carolina?
Yeah.
And said, if you see a Trump sign, avoid the house. Oh, really? Okay. So your humanity is right there on display, and you're not. You're not it. You're a piece of shit. Larry, you got a lightning round for us, buddy?
I do.
I like that sheriff that said to the FEMA guys, you know, I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh, we played that video? Yeah.
You venture beyond this checkpoint right here, I
Yep.
cannot guarantee your safety.
Yep.
These people up here
don't fucking like you.
Nope. And they've all been abused enough.
Yep. Larry, what do you got?
Boy, I've got a bunch here.
While you're lightning round, I want you to go quick, Larry. Go.
All right. Well, bring up my computer, and here we go. Ludington man killed by Border Patrol following ambush attack in Texas. Ryan Lewis Mosqueda. That's right. A Michigan man was killed by U.S. Border Patrol in Texas on Monday after opening fire on a federal building in McAllen, injuring at least 2 police officers and 1 Border Patrol employee. Ludington resident Ryan Lewis Mosqueda, 27, fired dozens of rounds at the entrance of a Border Patrol station shortly before 6 a.m. on Monday, prompting agents to return fire. McAllen Police Chief Victor Rodriguez said at a press conference attended by the Texas Tribune. 1 McAllen police officer was shot in the knee during the exchange, while another officer and Border Patrol agent sustained injuries from the bullets that penetrated the building, he said. So right there you can see a nice shot of his Michigan driver's license. The gunman is dead after allegedly ambushing Border Patrol agents with a rifle and tactical gear, according to law enforcement.
So what we're saying is we've cleaned one more.
There's one less libtard
in Michigan.
One less libtard.
Yeah, incidents like this make us realize that we're to always be on guard and keeping the community safe, he said. There are many, many dozens of rounds fired by the suspect towards the building and agents of the building. So, I mean, basically, we have a problem with liberal rhetoric that comes from the Democrat elected leadership.
You mean, and then inciting rabid retards to go after people?
Yes, this was a domestic terror attack.
Okay.
You know, against our country. So, story number 2, Lincoln Park Border Patrol nabs illegal immigrants sought in Venezuela homicide investigation.
Lincoln Park, the band?
Yes. I saw them too, in between Boston and Chicago.
In between them?
Just kidding. I've heard of Lincoln Park, and aren't they a rap band or something?
No, but they have some.
I heard one of their
What do they call
songs
that,
once
Vince?
and turned the channel. So
Lincoln Park. It's like a hybrid. I just heard him downstairs. I know he's here.
Yeah, I heard the door close. An illegal immigrant from Venezuela wanted in connection with a homicide investigation, is on his way back home after he was busted driving without a license in Lincoln Park last week. Lincoln Park police stopped a man for driving without a license on Wednesday, and how'd they know he didn't have a license?
No, he
Did I read
stopped.
that right?
Stopped, and then they realized he didn't have a license.
Oh, Lincoln Park police stopped a man for driving without a license on Wednesday and contacted agents with the U.S. Border Patrol's Gibraltar Station, who identified the individual as Farah Ururki. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to. Jan Cocker
Spaniel?
Machado Rivaz, 27.
Cocker
Holy
Spaniel.
smokes. Macho Rivaz admitted to agents that he was in the country illegally, and record check revealed the individual is wanted by the International Criminal Police Organization, or Interpol, in connection with a homicide investigation in Venezuela, according to the release of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Well, and here's another reason to thank President Trump and ICE. Oh, the Midwesterners, wonderful.
Get it done, Larry.
Yes. ICE arrests in Michigan jump 154% since Trump took office.
Woo, woo.
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrests have spiked across the country in recent weeks, despite pushback from anti-ICE protesters and an alarming increase in attacks of federal immigration agents. In Michigan, immigration arrests are up 154% since Donald Trump took office, as he vows to deliver on his campaign promise to secure the border and carry out mass deportations.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court just said, deport, deport, deport.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right. According to data shared by the Deportation Data Project, I didn't know we had that, the pace of immigration arrests have accelerated nationwide, with Michigan seeing a sharp increase in early June, M-Line reported. On Monday, border czar Tom Homan had another message: buckle up, because he wants ICE agents to arrest at least 7,000 illegal immigrants every day, more than double the current quota, the New York Post reported.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Sorry, I felt like pushing some buttons. Go ahead, Larry.
Trump's executive order ends subsidies for expensive and unreliable wind and solar foreign-controlled energy sources.
Yeah, because it all was bullshit.
And you got that right.
Yeah.
So, yep, that is a great headline. If you want, these headlines and the stories are at midwesterner.news.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I will read this one. Duggan's Detroit ranked as most stressed city due to high unemployment, high crime, and high divorce rates. The Motor City has a new title as the most stressed city in America, according to a recent Wallet Hub study. Governor Gretchen Whitmer's Michigan and Mayor Mike Duggan's Detroit specifically have continued to fall behind in education and economic opportunities.
Economic. What's that? Does that mean
economic? That's like jobs and stuff.
Where's the fucking money, shithead?
Yes.
Is that what
Yeah. The latest designation for Detroit, the state's largest city, is exactly a feather in Whitmer's Barbie cap and could negatively reflect on Duggan in 2026 gubernatorial aspirations.
Gubernatorial.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's a reason for that.
Larry likes saying gubernatorial.
Yes.
I apologize for the camera blipping out, guys. I honestly bought a new HDMI line and went to install it today and realized I bought a 15-footer and I need a 25-footer to go over there. So it doesn't, you see that the camera had its own little thing on.
Yes.
Anyway, whatever.
So this is my final story for the evening on the Midwesterner.
Okay.
So this one is Kajewski. Ranked choice voting. Did I say that right?
I'm not. Yeah.
Kijewski.
Dude, I'm not even going to try.
You're not even gonna try.
I'd rather
You're
you stumble
Polish.
over-
It should be natural.
Yeah, my last name was Soika,
Yes.
not Wojciechowski.
Ski.
well, he couldn't spell toboggan.
Toboggan.
Yeah.
Noggin
Ski. Ski couldn't spell toboggan.
Noggin ski.
Yeah. Ranked choice voting in Michigan would be a misguided experiment. The Michigan Board of Canvassers just allowed ranked choice voting, RC, to get one step closer to appearing on the November 26th ballot. That's a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
However, the push to impose ranked choice voting in our elections, because ranked choice voting stinks. It is rank.
Isn't that how the
Threatens to undermine the clarity of fairness in our democratic process.
So explain to people what ranked choice is, because that's how that douchebag in.
Well,
in
I'm
New York-
hoping the article explains it.
Okay.
That's why I'm reading it, because I'm hoping the article is going to explain why it would be a
All
failed
right, go ahead,
experiment.
Larry. Read the article.
Okay, thank you. While proponents claim ranked choice voting fosters fairness and reduces polarization, the reality is that it complicates voting, confuses citizens, and risks eroding trust in our electoral system. Yeah, I wouldn't even if ranked choice voting came to Michigan, I'm done voting. See ya. I'm out of here.
That's why I wanted you to explain it.
Yeah.
Is it in the article?
It's coming.
Okay.
Michigan does better than untested, convoluted experiment.
Convoluted
experiment.
It
is convoluted.
Convoluted. Oh,
Yeah.
But it's convoluted.
Convoluted. At its core, here we go. RCV replaces a simple time-tested one-person, one-vote system with a multi-round ranking process. Voters must rank candidates in order of preference. And if no candidate wins the majority, the lowest vote getters are eliminated, redistributing their votes until a winner emerges.
It's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
So they can manipulate the votes the way they want to.
Sounds
and
innovative.
not only that, you can have a set of candidates. So you have one Republican and two Democrats running, and the one Democrat gets 34%, and the Republican gets 33%, and the other Democrat gets 25%. I'm not even making sure those numbers are adding up. And the one with 34%, which is not the majority, can win outright. And it becomes a type of parliamentary system where you don't even have a majority or a mandate.
Right.
And all of a sudden you're the candidate now, or you're the elected candidate. It becomes bullshit.
But dig deeper, and the flaws become more glaring. For one, RCV demands more from voters, more time, more research, and more mental gymnastics.
Which our shiphead people are not going to do.
Right.
Nope. They can't
In
handle
a
it.
state where voter turnout already hovers around 65% in presidential elections, asking Michiganders to navigate a complex ballot risks alienating those already skeptical of the process. As much cheating as goes on in our elections from the Democrat Party, I will not participate in this.
Right.
I'm done at that point. The data backs this up. In jurisdictions like Maine and New York City, where RCV has been implemented, studies show higher rates of ballot exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
When voters don't rank enough candidates and their votes are discarded. A 221 New York City election was nearly 15% of ballots exhausted by the final round, effectively disenfranchising thousands. Michigan diverse electorate from urban Detroit and rural Upper Peninsula deserves a system that's innovative, not one that punishes those who can't or won't rank 5 candidates for the county clerk. I wouldn't do that anyway. I would go vote for one candidate and write F you across the other ones.
Right? That's you.
Yes.
But I get it.
But
I get it.
to be honest with you, from what this is saying, that ballot would be thrown out anyway because I didn't pick the 5.
Because you spoiled it.
Why bother? I got better things to do, like go pluck my eyeballs out with a fork.
Dale says that we're safe though. We're okay because we still have Dominion voting here in Michigan, so the Democrats get to win anyways.
Oh. Proponents argue RCV reduces negative campaigning and encourages candidates to appeal to a broader base. But this assumption is utopian world where politicians play nice.
Mm-hmm.
In practice, RCV can be amplify strategic voting and backroom deals. See, my problem with the system that exists right now is Democrats come in, they cross over in the primaries, and they vote for the worst Republican, and we end up with a stinking rhino on the ballot, and all the conservatives go home. We end up with a Democrat.
A stinking rhino, Larry says.
Well, it's true. Because Democrats for years have crossed over, and I have spoken to people till I'm blue in the face for 30 years. I was telling them back when I was working on the Bush campaign, you need to close
the loopholes.
Yeah, you need to close primary elections.
Mm-hmm.
Primary elections, either that or hand them to the delegates.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to close the elections, and I don't like handing it to the delegates, right? Don't get me wrong on that, right? But delegates do get elected to do a job. We pick the Attorney General, we pick the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
So if they're not going to close the primary elections in Michigan, if they're too stupid to do that, then they should put all the primaries in the hands of the delegates, let the delegation do it. That way we get Republicans that are put on the ballot instead of stinking rhinos.
Stinking rhinos. These are not people. I want you to understand.
Rhinos are worse than Democrats for the reason that, and I get it, our party chair, and I'm not going to mention any names here, our party chair says that for the point of caucus, it's better to have a rhino than it is to have a Democrat because of the caucus and all the things the caucus does. Right? And you know what that is.
Caucus.
You've been around.
He's been kicked out of a few
you've been
Republican
you've been around long enough to know what we do. But here's the problem. What happens when you have a rhino sitting in a seat, right? And that rhino votes with the Democrat and a law gets passed, that affects every district. Rhino or not, it affects every district. And then what happens is you go knock a door, boom, 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 boom. Hey, we're here to promote so-and-so. He's a conservative. Yeah. There's no difference between a Democrat and a Republican. They're both on they're both the same side of the coin. All they do is take our rights away. How can you argue with that?
No.
When you got rhinos that are voting with the Democrats, right? And then you go knock a door, knock, knock, knock. We want to put a good conservative candidate up. Doesn't do any good. The voters Republicans pay attention. They are much better informed than Democrats are when it comes to voting and who's doing what, right? And when these rhinos come up in this rear their ugly head and vote with the Democrats, and I'm not going to talk about Mike Mueller.
I'm going around with him.
Yeah. When this happens and these stupid laws get passed, you got to hear it. You got to hear what he did in all the other districts across the state, because they all know that rhino, under the name of a Republican, voted, right?
Yeah.
To put, make Elliot Larson include gays. Right.
Yeah.
So how are we supposed to get Republicans elected anywhere in the state when the base is fed up? They're tired. They've had enough. They're voting with their feet.
Yep.
Say, you know what? I'm out of here.
Well, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
After what I went through with the Republican Party in Genesee County, I can completely understand that.
Yeah.
And I'm in good company because a lot of other people have walked as well.
Yeah, I've got a lot of conservative friends that left Livingston County. They're down in Kentucky or Tennessee or Florida or North Carolina, South Carolina.
I've been doing a lot with Dave Shell and the North Republican Party. I've spent some time with those guys. They're good people.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine, right?
Yes, that's why I said that.
Oh. Was that the last one on your lightning round there, Larry?
He's the one that taught me how to do memes.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good then.
Him.
It's his fault?
No, there's another lady that did it. A local lady.
So the two of them combined to conspire?
You know Trisha.
Yeah.
Trish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two of them conspired together to teach you how to do memes?
Yes.
I will have a talk with both of them.
You should get him on the show one time. I mean, he's a good guy.
Set it up, Larry.
Well, he is very active, I believe, with the North Republican,
Yes.
North Oakland Republican Club.
Yes.
And there's something he does on Tuesday nights
It's the
that he can't get here.
it's the Taco Tuesday music bingo thing that he does at Shorty's, which is fun. I've been there.
I'd love to have him here, especially his memes. I mean, he loses accounts over his memes. I get written up in the paper. They take his account. And all he does is he's always been put out really good.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys meme at all.
Donald Trump Jr.
reposted some of his memes.
Reposts his memes.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
he has. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's pretty good. I've had mine reposted by some people, but not Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah.
Just haven't risen to that level yet, Larry.
No, he's very creative with his memes. He goes where I don't. There's certain things I won't say that he says quite proudly.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can maybe talk him out of going to a music bingo for one Tuesday. Pull him off of it.
Maybe we can talk him out of it.
Right?
Maybe we'll team up on him.
Yeah.
Get him to
Tag
come in,
team.
sit down, talk about memes, and
Wrestling's all fake, boys. Tag team it.
tag team it. Wrestling.
Final thoughts, men. We're reaching that.
Ask
that hour.
Geraldo Rivera if wrestling is fake.
I'll tell you, I've had this conversation with a few people. I'm like, you know what? I used to like wrestling as a kid. Grew up in Hulk Hogan and all those guys. But
You know what happened to Geraldo,
wrestling is
right?
not wrestling in and of itself. The athleticism, is not fake. It's just orchestrated on who's going to win.
Yeah. Do you know what happened to Geraldo, right?
He got his mustache ripped off in the ring.
No, he's deaf. He's still deaf in one ear because he walked up to somebody, and I think it was Hulk Hogan, but I could be wrong on that. So I'm not.
Is it called fake? Is it?
I'm not throwing
Wham!
the
And he
Hulk
boxed
under
him.
the bus. Took the microphone and said, "Well, wrestling's fake, ain't it?" Took the microphone like that. Hulk Hogan went. Whoever the wrestler was went.
Boxed him.
Wham! Popped an eardrum.
Oh.
He went down. Does that feel fake?
Exactly.
I don't remember which wrestler it was. So it may not have been Hulk Hogan, but I think it was.
Had to sell that lawsuit out of court.
Yes, they did. Yeah, he's still deaf in that ear.
Well,
I-
that would
I-
make
I-
sense because I
that's
always
the
thought
one
he was.
thing I would add. That's the one thing that I would ask him. I would say,
Is wrestling
"Is
fake?
wrestling fake?"
See, that's what people don't get. It's like
Say, which year should I ask that in? Wrestling fake?
just because just because it's choreographed and they know how to keep each other safe.
Yeah.
That's what makes the theatrics that much more cool, because you know they're not ultimately going to try to hurt each other. But when you watch a guy like
Well, I watched Ric
was the-
Flair pick up a guy and throw him into the third aisle.
Yeah.
well, and I remember when Kevin when it was Bret the Hitman Hart fell from the rafters and died.
No.
So
No.
there's real stuff.
In November of 1982, I was in basic training, and they gave us Liberty for the first time. And we all got free tickets to the wrestling match on post, and it was Ric Flair.
Nice. Ric Flair. There's a great documentary on Ric Flair.
Is there?
Yeah.
Picked him up like.
I think it's Netflix, and it's The Nature Boy.
Yeah.
And it's this pretty decent documentary, and he talks about how much success he had and how much he fucked up, and it's a great documentary.
I was very happy that I was sitting like way up in the 15th row when that big
through.
wrestler hit the third row and sent those people flying.
Right. Patrick, your final thoughts, my friend. Winning and losing, wins and losses. What's your final thoughts on it?
Well, there's some major wins that have come out of this administration that I'm really proud of.
In a very short time.
And there's some things that I'm really concerned about. And, I look at it and say, we worked our asses off to get you elected, Donald Trump, and some of the shit that you're pulling right now is pissing me off. The Epstein thing is one of them. And, what's going on with Elon Musk is another one. I like Elon Musk a lot. And what he's put forth to help him get elected and what he's done to try to rectify this government. Maybe it's orchestrated. Maybe he's sharp beyond belief, and they set this up so that Elon could
be the heel.
Yes, be the heel. Separate himself from Trump so that his dealerships and business doesn't come crumbling down as a result of what the left-wing loons are doing.
Yeah.
It could also be that as the old saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The Democrats that are doing these things may actually embrace him, and in turn embrace the work that's been done on Doge. So I don't know that.
Yeah.
What I do know is what I see, and the theatrics I'm seeing, I'm not excited about. So, but I guess the man's not going to make me happy on all levels, So, we still got a lot of time left. So, see what happens.
Absolutely, Larry, sign my paper.
I will definitely sign your paper, sir.
Overhead shot.
Ooh.
There it is. All right, and Larry, final thoughts, buddy. Did you find an article you want to pull up?
I missed one. I'll
pull it up.
There's a bunch of stuff here that I didn't read because I expect people to go read the Midwesterner. But Dana Nessel sues President Donald Trump to keep illegal immigrants on Medicaid.
I mean, that's only right. That our taxpayer dollars should go to people who don't.
No, they shouldn't. You got to come in this country legally or get the fuck out.
You're just a bigot.
Get the fuck out. You know what? And all these people that are coming to our country and they're here illegally and they're protesting ICE, get the fuck out.
Doesn't mean she's going to win. And he may just come in with some U.S. Marshals and haul her off in handcuffs. I would like to see that.
I would like to see that too.
Well, and the reality is,
look at
she's
that.
protecting her voter base.
Look at the face on that thing.
She's just protecting her voter base. That's the only reason they're doing this.
No wonder she's gay.
They want to do the census. Now, don't criticize the scissor sister, carpet munching chicks. That's not right. We don't want to be discriminatory towards pillow biters and stuff.
I mean, look at that. That's like Amber Fryish.
See, now you bring up the host of the show does not endorse every fucking thing Larry says.
Yeah. But I mean, look at that. You can push your face in dough and make gorilla cookies.
That the host does endorse on this show.
That
statement is endorsed by the host of the show. What's your final thoughts, Larry? You crazy fuck.
A lot of crazy stuff going on. I'm going to share everybody's concern. I don't like what's going on with the Epstein stuff. Why now? All right. And omnibus bills, I just don't like.
They're shit.
There's too much in them.
Yeah.
There's crap that gets snuck in that people don't know about, and it's, and Democrats are pretending like, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. Well, this omnibus bill that got passed, it's bad as there's some of the bad stuff that's in there that we don't like. It's still better than anything the Democrats ever passed.
Yeah.
In the omnibus bill. So, but I mean, that's exactly how adults lost the right to smoke cigarettes. Omnibus bill. The Democrats snuck that into a bill that Donald Trump signed into law. Donald Trump should have vetoed that one item in that bill, if I were president, raising the age for cigarettes from 18 to 21, that one thing, I'd have vetoed the whole damn bill.
Yeah.
Bam. You ain't doing that to my veterans.
Yeah.
Telling me that these people, you're already telling me that they can't drink.
Mm-hmm.
They go off, they carry an M16, and get their head blown off in the war, and they can't drink a beer?
Yeah.
That's
bullshit.
Pathetic.
It's bullshit.
That's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pathetic. And now they can't smoke either? That's pathetic.
Yeah.
No outlet. Dude, in World War II, they issued you packs of cigarettes when you got off the boat.
Well, wait a minute.
It's part of your rations.
Tell me why an 18-year-old can't drink or smoke, but they can sign on the dotted line to join the military. How come you don't have to be 21 to be in the military?
How come you got to be so logical about shit?
I don't know.
Well, there you go.
This is what I guess. But anyways, I share all of your concerns on those items. My final thought is we're still in better shape than we were a year ago.
100%.
We have a lot of successes. We need to be rejoicing. Yeah. The Democrats are exploding. Their heads are exploding. They don't know what to do. They're in complete disarray. Their numbers go down every single day as they expose more and more and more about themselves.
100%.
But you know what? That thing that I put up there about no arrests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have no faith in the system if some people's heads don't roll on some of that shit.
How can you have faith in the system? Why isn't James Comey sitting in federal prison?
Yeah.
Why don't they have the FBI kicking in his door?
Like they did to Roger Stone.
Right, they did to Roger Stone. What'd they do to Donald Trump?
Yep.
They went through Melania Trump's underwear drawers.
Yeah.
For something he was allowed to do. He was the president of the United States. He's the final word.
So
the
cash,
Supreme
what the
Court
fuck?
already said so.
Cash, what the fuck? Cash, what the fuck? I mean, how long do we have to wait?
Yeah.
I had high hopes for he and Dan Bongino. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So this is just on Benny Johnson. This is being posted right now.
It's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing? Oh,
I saw you
give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but if you release the names, right? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? You're going to accept Dick Durbin's word or whoever that guy is as to who is on that list and who isn't, and that it can and can't be released? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are. We have an election coming up, and we need to adjudicate this matter at the polls. God knows the FBI and DOJ aren't going to do anything, but how are you going to reward the FBI with a new headquarters building after their illegal surveillance on Donald Trump continues with a reauthorization of FISA, and we can't even get basic documents out? This is why America hates Congress, and this is why I'm tired of the Republican majority saying they're going to get the job done and failing.
And now you are part of the problem, Kash Patel.
Yeah.
You are a direct part of the problem because you literally redecorated the building you said you were going to turn into a museum.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you took over another building or about to take over a new building in DC and make it the new headquarters when you said you were going to boot everybody else's asses out and get them in the field doing investigations. So that's my problem with Kash Patel. Yeah. I've liked him up until this point.
Yeah.
But he's doing the exact shit that he said he was going to fight against.
Yep.
That's my problem.
Well, isn't that what I just said?
I have this to say, right? If they thought one thing before they got to the office, then they get there and discover something else,
then you
be man enough to tell everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. This is supposed to be the most transparent fucking administration ever.
Yep.
Then be fucking transparent on it.
Yeah, it's very simple. You go up there and you say this. I ran for office and I said this. I got here, I investigated, and I was wrong because this is what is actually the truth. Right? I can respect that. It's just like when Bill Clinton, right, went off and had his little Monica Lewinsky thing. If he'd have looked in the TV camera and said, that's a private matter between me and my wife, and I'm not going public with it, I would have respected that.
I would have respected that.
But he turned, he looked in the camera.
I did not have sex with that woman, yes.
Miss
He
Lewinsky.
lied.
Yeah.
I tried that with my wife. I says, honey, I don't want to have sex with her.
Yeah.
It's not sex.
Yeah.
My wife said, yes, it is.
Yeah. Back to this one. General Flynn here on X. I have a lot of respect for anyone who stands up to serve our nation, but when one does, you need to remember that it is the American people you work for. This Epstein affair is not going anywhere. That for everybody in chat who's looking at this right now, that is a proper use of caps. This Epstein affair is not going away. When you guys just do all caps in a post about gay fish, kind of overusing the caps, shout out.
Yep.
And any early lesson learned for everyone regarding this affair, elites don't give a shit. No. So here's Michael Schellenberger saying, this is a total fucking disaster. Quoting, this is a total fucking disaster. A senior person in the intelligence community told us today in response to our questions about the Justice Department's cover-up of the Epstein files. If people think this is going away, the official added, I don't see how it can. And there's Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. So this shit's not going away.
All right. And I do want to say there are some severe storms headed our way, according to this radar.
Buckle up.
Right now they're crossing 69 down in the Coldwater area, and they are barreling straight at us. So everybody, stay safe tonight.
Yeah.
And that is my final thought.
Here's an InfoWars fan saying this. I want to go back to this one. Get prepared for the storms. InfoWars fan, Trump, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? We have Texas. We have this. People are still talking about this crap. Hey, Trump, this is all caps. Hey, Trump, you freaking ran on releasing the files. So, yeah, we're still freaking talking about it. What the fuck is going on around here? And your overreaction is hubris, whatever it is. It's not going away. You guys think that I looked up X and typed in Epstein? I literally just reopened X because I was going to grab something else for my final thoughts. This is my feed right now, and it's all Epstein. Dude, the Health Ranger. There was a time when I was willing to entertain the idea of trust the plan, but after the Epstein files have been memory hold and the mRNA is still in the jabs, and the peace president is sending bombs to Israel and Ukraine, we all realize we have been lied to about so much. That face when you trust the plan.
Yeah.
So look at this. I'm just scrolling down literally in my feed. I was kidnapped by Epstein. Trump promised the list. What the fuck is it? How many more victims must die? I will never be silenced. This is an Epstein survivor. This is Juliet Rose. I won't play her audio, but you guys check that out. This is listen, Glenn Beck's chiming in it. Thomas Sowell quotes that network. It's tying back to that one.
What's Glenn have to say?
Well, this is an interview he had with Cash.
So, who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
But who? That is that. I mean, there's
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI. Just like the manifesto from the Nashville school shooting of the Catholic school. We still haven't seen that, right? It's not the Nashville police or PD saying we don't want this out. The FBI airmailed into that operation and said this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation. All these local law enforcement communities get funding from the DOJ and FBI for local programs. And if you don't cooperate, you're not getting your $1 million for this, and you're not getting and that's a lot of money to these local districts. That's how they play the game. That's why you don't have a Black Book.
But the Black Book, it's not just sitting. I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the Black Book.
No shit, Cash, and you're the one fucking holding it up. That's our problem. Between Cash and Trump and Bondi and Bongino, they're the ones that are... He's saying what we all said, and now they're pivoting, and they're not giving us a proper fucking explanation. Yeah. And it's pissing... If the Elon-Trump split caused division, this is exploding. And I'm literally... just scrolling through stuff at the end of the show here, and it's one fucking this is the first one, and it's Cash Patel News fan page. I don't even subscribe to that one; just pops up in here. There's Roger Stone.
What's he gotta say? I mean,
why has the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York and the federal court in that district sealed all documents pertaining to Epstein, including the search warrant for Epstein's Orgy Island? Yeah, what the fuck is going on? You know? Another one, Power to the People. Epstein victim. I was raped 3 times a day. I wasn't the only girl on the island. There was a constant stream of girls being raped over and over again. A government that would rather protect child rapists than prosecute them needs to be dismantled immediately. Agreed, 100%.
Wait a minute. Glenn Beck just... shocking CIA leak. Obama orchestrated Trump-Russia hoax.
That's old history.
Yeah.
I thought Hillary Clinton did that.
Oh, no. Hillary jumped on it as a result of Obama. Remember, Obama had to make a deal with Hillary. Remember, Obama and Hillary went away for a weekend and came back, and Obama got the nomination, and Hillary had to wait and got Secretary of State?
Yes.
Part of her other payoff was Obama promised to protect her and get her elected. And one of his schemes was the Steele dossier. They put that Steele dossier together initially to get rid of Bernie Sanders. But they got rid of Bernie Sanders another way because he's a fucking crook, fucking communist. And then they pivoted and changed all the names to Trump. Because Trump never went to fucking Russia and had prostitutes pissing on him. Right. But guess where little old shithead Bernie Sanders did his honeymoon?
Russia.
Fucking Russia.
Yeah.
I told you that when my wife took me to Washington, D.C. for my 60th birthday, the only senator, when I went through the Senate, one senator, just one, happened to walk right by me and almost walk into me.
It was Bernie Sanders?
It was Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
and I looked at my wife, and we're standing there with all these people.
And he went,
and I said, "Did you smell that?" And she said, "What?" I said, "Smells like sulfur and brimstone."
Yeah, exactly.
And Ben Gay.
Hey, now, some of us have sports injuries. Bernie doesn't. He has Ben Gay on his sore ass from sitting around and being a fucking lazy prick. We cannot coexist with people who think that raping children is acceptable. Can't coexist with that. Patrick brought up the scripture verse, and I echoed it. It'd be better to have a millstone tied around your neck than to harm one of the children. Children. So I got that. I still got that key up there.
These assholes are going to pay at some point.
Yep.
I'd like to see it exposed now. Then it really
And that includes killing them for all you abortion proponents, advocates.
You know what? I think for these
Kill a baby, get a.
You know what I think for these I think for these pedophiles, you know what we should do? We should institute late term abortions
like
for them.
Right.
For all the pedophiles. We're like, we're not executing you.
Yeah, once you find
this
out.
is a late term
Actually,
abortion
yeah.
for you. Yeah. We're just aborting the rest of your future
life.
pedophilia.
Yes.
Your pederast.
You forgot to ask me today how it went meeting my sister.
I brought up the beginning of the show. I threw the bone out for you,
did you? And I missed it?
And you missed it.
Huh?
Fucking camera, keep cutting out, man. I got to figure this shit out. Go, Larry. What do you got?
Oh well, it was a lot of fun. So my sister came in from Florida, met me and my other sister and her father and my birth father.
Okay.
And it was phenomenal. The three of us and her husband had a wonderful time.
Nice.
She's a very nice woman. She's exactly 31 days younger than me. So I am.
There's not a lot of.
I was born on August 4th, and she was born on September 5th.
What is the sibling count now?
It's still the same. The sibling count is 9. I am the second oldest of 9 children.
And how many of them of you are within a few weeks of each other being born, knowing that your biological father was a little prolific on spreading his seed?
Well, he had 3 children with 3 women in a year and a month.
Okay, so he did not get the mRNA jab at that time to reduce his sperm count or eat red food coloring dyes.
And apparently he didn't believe in plastic bags. Put it that way.
Well, we found out that you didn't either when you discovered you had a son there. Yeah. My final thoughts is don't be duped. And I found that we go in both directions where we can get overly suspicious of every single thing, or we can be oblivious to everything. And I want to find the middle ground. I want to find a place where we're not suspicious of every single thing, you know? And there's a place in there. There is a way to find that balance. And my desire would be to encourage all of you out there to find that place where you just do your best to be educated and assess the situations. If you don't know the answer, don't make assumptions. I don't always assume when Larry says something that he means it. I ask him for clarification, because sometimes he says shit and I go, but I trust his integrity. I know his heart. So when you don't know somebody's heart and you don't know their integrity, then you can't make safe assumptions. You can make assumptions, which we know is not always the best thing, but you can't make safe assumptions. With my friends that I'm close to, I can make some safe assumptions that they mean well. And we go back and forth. And I do have several Disaronno bottles to throw in case, just letting Larry know that I disagree.
Yeah, I noticed you have an arsenal.
I've got an arsenal over here. Yeah. I'm saying that in jest because I love Larry. He's awesome with me. And what I'm saying to you guys out there is we all have to do our own due diligence, our own research, our own investigations on things. We don't have to go to the end of the earth and pick the flower off the top of the mountain in that pursuit. But we at least have to acknowledge the mountain and the flower on top from afar and understand that even though we may not have climbed it and may not have picked that particular flower, that we have investigated enough to have an educated answer versus people who are just having knee-jerk reactions. I'm pleasantly, tonight, honestly, Larry, I was pleasantly surprised at your opposition with us to Trump. Not that I assumed anything different, but I didn't want to assume that you would. There are people out there that are absolute Trump can do no wrong.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that.
Correct.
There's several things that Trump has done that has bothered me since he ran for office. I am a conversion to Donald Trump. I was on the Livingston County for Ted Cruz campaign, but I recognized right away he was going to be the president. It didn't. You could see it when he came down the escalator. I knew at that point. Yeah. I knew Trump was going to be our next president.
Yep,
there was no doubt.
And so
but that doesn't mean Trump is like every other human being.
Yeah.
Flawed.
Yep.
Right. There was one human being that wasn't flawed. A lot of people say he might not have been a human being, but he had a human body. His name was Jesus Christ.
Right.
He's the only one. Everybody else flawed.
So that's what I'm looking at is are we doing our due diligence and our investigation on things, because there's so much information. You know, I find there's a book that I've read in the past. It's called Religious Ignorance by Stephen Prothero, and I've brought it up a couple times in the show, but not frequently in the past couple of years. But he said that Americans I'm trying to remember the exact phrase. Americans' religious, the word is coming to me as adherence, but it's not adherence. Religious fervor. Americans' religious fervor is only matched by their abject ignorance of what they claim to believe. And I find that truth is across the board. If you're fervent, in fact, Paul wrote it this way. He said it is fine to be zealous, provided that the endeavor or the cause is just. And I find so many people that are pursuing things and they're not. Are you playing with shit, Larry?
Yeah, I tried to put you on the GoPro and it did.
The GoPro's gone, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not here because that controller broke.
Oh.
The switcher down there.
I
So
hadn't
it's
noticed
just
that.
laptop. Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, everybody.
Anyway, so my point being is this: be educated, and that's a reoccurring thing that I say to everybody is just be educated.
It's kind of hard to be educated when they keep up smothering and hiding all the information from the American public.
And that's my actual final point is, Patrick, we have to rely on the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
That is the number one thing that when you study Scripture and you actually study the Gospels and the book of Acts leading into it, are canonical stuff, but then even some of the extra canonical stuff. Many people, and they've argued with me on this, but Jesus didn't come to die for sins. The same way that if I go to Saginaw, I have to drive through Flint from here. I'm not going to Flint. I'm going to Saginaw. But I have to go through Flint to get to Saginaw. Jesus had to die for sins in order to restore the Holy Spirit, because what was his purpose? He said, now that I've died and I'm resurrected, and he meets with his disciples, he goes, now, I want you to go and wait in Jerusalem for the promise of the Holy Spirit. He was going to deliver the Holy Spirit no matter what.
He had to fulfill the law.
He had to fulfill it. And he says right in the beginning, John the Baptist, they said, why are you baptized in water? He goes, the one coming after me, more powerful than I, he's going to baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire. It's in all four Gospels. It's in the book of Acts. And Jesus said, I'm going to give you the Holy Spirit. Stephen in the book of Acts, he says, when he's being stoned to death, just before he's saying, you uncircumcised hearts and ears, you always resist the Holy Spirit. We need to be listening to the Holy Spirit, that still small voice within all of us, to guide us, because there's so much misinformation, there's so much error out there, that if we don't have a grounding point that's meant to be the Spirit of God within each and every one of us, it's not supposed to be unique.
I pray all the time that the Lord keeps me on the path that he wants me in.
Exactly.
Where he wants me to be.
Exactly.
What
And that's,
he wants for me to do.
And that's
how he wants me to serve him.
That's my point, is there's so much inconsistencies, there's so much flaws. And we haven't abandoned Trump, even though we're disappointed with some of the stuff.
No,
we're praying for Trump, we're praying for Bonnie, we're praying for Cash.
Okay, put a number. Let's put a number on it. Do we agree with Trump 98% of the time, 97% of the time? Right? How often did we agree with Dum Dum?
Oh, Biden?
Yeah.
I agreed with him when he was sleeping.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because he wasn't doing any damage.
You know, so
Somebody's doing auto pen though.
So the big beautiful bill became bungled. I mean, it was definitely bungled because now, you know, all the no tax on overtime and no tax on tips, and there's this number 160,000, but they're not clarifying, is that per individual or is that like married finally jointly 160,000? You know, what does that mean? Does that mean up to 160,000 and only after that are you taxed on it, or if you hit 160,000 you're taxed on all of it? You know, they got to put all that out now, and it's all going to be interesting.
Listen, I want to cut this short, but with this weather coming in, I really don't want to be driving on these back roads.
Yeah, and I got to get going.
I want to go.
My top's down,
so it's time to call it night.
All right.
Yeah.
Larry and I'll keep talking. Patrick, don't shut us down. Hey,
Yeah,
love
I
all you
gotta
guys.
get-
Like, share, and subscribe. Do all that stuff. thealexjonesstore.com/this is my brain. Go pick up a supplement, something good, a hat, a provocative T-shirt. Do that, and we will catch you guys next time.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah. Have a good night.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg.
Yeah, that's an egg.
Honey,
Dude,
that's an egg.
seriously.
That's an egg. It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg.
I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes.
Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg.
I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large brown cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with hot cakes?
A little sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they got to be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Has it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage-free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?
No, I eat steak.
Never apologize and never explain.
Never apologize.
Never apologize and never explain.